What's up, guys? Fuck, man. Rafa, good to have you fucking back, man.
Thank you, my friend.
When you said, I of course invited you and your partner to, plug and promote the podcast, and you're like, he can't make it, but I'll be there. I was like, fuck yeah.
The taco sandwich, yeah. Unfortunately, he works.
What's
He's got
that
a
all
different
about?
schedule.
Fuck that shit.
I know, but he's got to
must
make
be
a
the
living.
sandwich.
He's got to eat, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I like y'all's podcast, man. You've already got some big names already on there.
Well, we got, to tell you the truth, on Discord, we got some of the same friends. I guess the circle of friends that we have, we kind of interact with each other. Most of them are, artists, comedians, or they do something special.
Yeah.
Or they're what I call, I don't know, you stand out in the crowd. You don't look like a regular guy from Lubbock. Let me put it that way. So those are the people that we get to hang around and, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I bet that hang is like totally different. You know what I mean? Like comedian hanging out. Like,
Well,
I bet that
with
talk.
comedians, it's just like, Jesus,
Non-stop
it's
laughing.
just like sometimes the pre-show, the after the show is the best part.
Yeah.
Because it's some sort of competition who says the most fucked up shit, you know what I mean? So it gets crazy and wild, that's for sure.
Yeah. So you got any shows coming up, or?
I just come back from Childress, Texas. We did a show over there. That was very good. I have another show coming up on the 25th. We're going to do that at where we do our podcast. And at the Taco Sandwich Podcast on the 25th, we have some of the best comedians in town. We have Rainey, Selena Martinez. We also have Morgan Hyman. Is going to be there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And Tanner Nelson. Yeah. Some of the best guys that we have in there. We're going to try to videotape their stuff.
Oh yeah.
So they can use it for, when they have competitions or comedy festivals, they usually ask you for a 5-minute unedited video. So we want a professional video, their set and stuff like that. So that's what we're trying to do. It's going to be on the 25th. You're going to offer a free beer. It's kind of like on the outside of town, as you know, so it's hard to get people there to tell you the truth.
Fucked up free beer. Yeah.
Well, there's going to be a lot of Mexicans in there, I can tell you that much.
One per hour.
We're going to have a DJ and shit like so it's going to be cool. We're going to try to make it a lot of fun.
Are competitions, are they normal?
To tell you the truth, I had never entered a competition myself.
Yeah.
My style is very different compared to the stand-up comedians. My stuff is storytelling. So it has a beginning, middle, and end. Usually my stories are long, 5, 7, 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And in competitions, they usually give you 3 minutes, 5 minutes tops.
Oh wow.
Because they have a lot of guys trying to get into competition. They got to move fast. So that's why I stay away from that.
Yeah, because since I started hosting, comedians, the thing that I hear a lot is, oh, he won this contest or he won so-and-so contest. And I'm like, are contests?
Yeah. Have you ever seen Kill Tony?
I know, but is that a contest?
It's like it's leveling
You
up
get a
type
golden
shit.
ticket, you get famous, you get viral. I mean, there's a lot of benefits, especially with Kill Tony.
Because I had...
It's like another notch on your belt, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Something
sir.
you can use, this guy's so-and-so.
I've been on Kill Tony 3 times.
Exactly, so that...
What's
It's on Netflix now.
Yeah, no, bro. That one's tight.
What's K-Loke's real name? Kimphany?
Yeah.
Kimothy. God damn.
We're all
Timothy Williams.
Ken Anderson.
Yeah, so I had him on the podcast,
K-Loke.
and he was talking about he won a contest in like Dallas or something, and I'm like, I never heard of these contests.
Hell yeah.
Like, where do you go?
And there's comedy festivals also,
Yeah.
and again, in order to be able to make it, to be able to be a part of the show, they need to...
You
need to apply. You need to send them your video, and they go through all of them. They pick the best of whoever they want.
You just can't show up and be like, "Hey, I'm funny."
Yeah.
You just can't.
Yeah.
My mom said that was funny.
My mom laughed.
My mom laughed, bro.
My mom laughed at that one.
If I can make my mom laugh, anybody will laugh.
So Rafa, it was I had Roy and the Pink PP on the show, right?
Oh, Pink. Yeah.
And they mentioned that when you were on Roy's podcast, that your scent filled up the whole garage. So I'm dying to know, like, do you have a signature cologne or do you wear a shitload of, like, all kinds?
I have like 5 different kinds,
Okay,
but there's
but-
one, like the one I'm wearing right now, is one of my
Your
favorite
signatures.
ones. Yes.
And what is that?
yeah.
You want to share it or no?
It's called Asado.
Asado.
but it's the old one.
I know you said
They don't-
asada.
I know.
Carne asada, right?
Delicious.
And it's obviously like you get the old formula.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
New
Yeah.
colognes? I bought a new cologne.
What is it?
I'm probably gonna say it right.
Cool water?
Baccarat? No, the Baccarat.
Oh, Baccarat Rouge.
Finally,
Yeah.
finally.
Cool
It's
water.
expensive, bro.
Dude, that little piece of shit bottle's like $300.
What?
Yeah.
Small for it's little. I was like,
Shit, I hit that Bath and Body Works, bro. I get that fucking, what is it? Buy 3, get 3 free.
Okay, so you're gonna get pissed. Bath and Body Works has the dupe,
The same
The-
smell.
the exact fucking
smell
same
like it?
smell. I mean, it smells identical, right? And it's only $50.
you know what? I'm gonna have to buy that from Malachi, bro, because he sees me do it and he wants to do
Oh,
the same
shit.
one.
Yeah.
Then I'm just like,
Well, you
oh.
always want to be like your dad.
If I pretend spray him though,
Hell
like,
yeah. The spit on
Well,
it.
you can
Smell
always
good.
buy the cheap one, and just for special occasions use the real one. You know.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Because that bottle, he's told that bottle's fucking
it's real
tiny,
small.
bro.
yeah.
And it's
It's
like
300
$300.
something, yeah,
Yeah.
$300 something dollars,
And-
man.
So, you have your signature scent, right? Are you a couple sprays or do you?
I usually spray my hands, rub my hands, and my beard. You know, where you shave yourself, kind of like aftershave.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
asking
what I
you
do.
this because I'm a cologne whore.
Mm-hmm.
I whore. I'll show you my collection.
Oh, you have a big collection.
It's
Okay.
bad, but I spray my beard with one scent, right? My beard and my hands with one scent.
Okay.
And then I do the main scent on my neck and ear area.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Yeah. So like people call that layering. I don't think it's layering because I think you gotta like put, two kinds
Back in
on.
the 80s and 90s, they used to somebody started like mixing, this one with that one, and it has a special aroma, whatever.
Yeah.
I never really got into it. And then some people say, no, you're not supposed to do that or whatever.
The highest compliment you could ever give me is, "Damn, you smell good."
Like, I know.
and I buy all these expensive ass colognes, right? And the cheapest cologne I ever bought on Amazon is the most complimented fucking
For real?
fragrance. Every time I wear it, they're like, "Bro, what are you wearing?" And I'm like,
What is it, Brute?
Motherfucker.
Brute?
Like,
It's
duh.
the Brute?
This is ceramic Old Spice.
Dude, you remember the ones that came in that green colored car?
Oh, the
And the
Avon.
No, but they were like really big.
Yeah,
They were
yeah, yeah.
heavy, and it came in like a car or
But
truck.
they were Avon.
I don't know
cologne,
where
right?
they-
The
Yeah.
magazine.
They're Avon products, yeah, definitely.
My mom's dad used to have them, right? And he had a shitload of them, and the back would screw off. And, man,
Yeah.
we were kids, we'd be like fucking pouring it on.
He used to order that shit for $3 a month.
There was one Avon, and it had a bull or a longhorn on it, and it was a wooden knob. Does that seem familiar? Sound familiar?
The wooden knob, wasn't that the Old Spice that came in a wooden box also? With the knob on the
Because
top
the
that was
Old
made out
Spice,
of
I
wood.
just remember it was a ceramic,
Like a white color.
a
right?
white off.
I'm
pearl
telling
white.
you, you Google,
You might be right, but this one was from Avon, and it was a wooden knob,
oh, this is different.
and it was something leather. It was called. It was like one of the 4 fucking colognes that
yeah,
Avon
you only
sold.
had so many choices, that was it.
And one of them was a wooden knob, and that's the scent my grandpa always wore because my grandma sold Avon.
Damn.
So it's like you with the cars, I'd be
Yeah.
all in there fucking smelling like shit. Like,
Thought I was cool. Hey, you get my cologne? No.
and that shit burned like a motherfucker. Like,
And dude, it would stain your clothes, everything. That the oils in it.
You stain your clothes? How do you know that?
Ink and shit.
That's how cheap it was?
Yeah,
God
because
damn.
you wear like a dark color you couldn't really tell, but like light colors you would see where you put it on, you're all like this and dots everywhere.
Hey, do y'all put deodorant under your chichis?
Depends.
I bought all
what I'm
body
good at it.
deodorant,
All body
and they're
deodorant?
wipes. So when I get out of the shower, under my tits, under my belly, my ass crack.
Yeah.
And then I throw the wipe away. But it's
You
it's
ever
called
do it
Mando.
backwards?
It's called Mando.
You ever go from
No, I don't go to
bottom
the
up?
ass first. I don't do ass first. Ass is always last.
Oh, that's where you fucking up at.
That's like wiping back to front, man. They have shitty nuts, bro.
Hey, unless you got wipes.
So, I think I told you the story before. I don't know if I've said it on the podcast, but at work we can't leave the computer. Like we have to maintain and monitor the computer at all times. That being said, there's a shitter in our office. In the actual office is a shitter, and then kind of like a break room with a hot plate or whatever. And we was doing shift change, and we got there, and my buddy, my co-worker, who was my work partner, went to use the restroom, and he opened the door, and he's like, "What the fuck, man? Lock the fucking door!"
Somebody's in.
Yeah, he's like, "Lock the fucking door, man!" And he shut the door, and he's like, "I don't ever want to see that shit again." And I was like, "What happened?" He was like, "I walked in on a mid-wipe," and then he goes, "That motherfucker wipes back to front." And then when he came out of the restroom, he's like, "Hey, man, why you wipe your ass like that, man?" And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And he told him, he's like, "That's how my mom taught me."
No way. That's terrible.
He was raised by women.
I had a buddy named Jacob Camacho, bro. He told me that. He was like, "Dude, that's the way you're supposed to wipe, bro. It's to clean." I was like, "I don't think so, bro. I mean, I'm not comfortable with this conversation." I don't, and that's because he shit his pants
holding
here
up
at the
your
shop.
side.
Oh shit!
He shit his pants, bro. I was on the phone and he was like, "Hey, bro, I gotta go take a shit. You know, there's not a shitter here, right?" I was like, "Well, fucking go, bro." He's like, "I can't find the keys." I said, "Man, I'm on the phone. Hold on." Next thing I know, like he disappears, right? And he comes back, and I see him come back there. We had a bunch of trees before they're cutting them down. He comes back, and then he was like, "Man, bro, I gotta go home." I was like, "What happened?" He's like, I shit in my pants."
Oh shit!
Right? And I was like, "What the fuck, dog? You should just shit out there somewhere." He goes, "I did, but I didn't lean far back enough. So I dropped my pants and I shit on my pants." Right? And so at the moment, it's not
then I
rich.
put 'em back in.
He put them, and then I looked at him. I was like, "And you put them on?" He was like, "Yeah." I said, "Damn, bro." He goes, I was like, "Fuck, dog." He lived in Littlefield.
Hey,
right
bro,
here.
you're sitting outside on the bed.
I was like, "Fuck, man." I said, "You know what, man? I'll buy you some clothes here so we don't have to go all the way back so we can finish this work." He said, "Okay." So we go to the fucking paint store, buy him some new wipes, and I said, "Hey, my dad said you could take a shower at his crib real fast and stuff." He said, "All right, cool." So I take him over there to 31st Street, right?
He's all walking in the house. No, not in the house, bro. Get the manguera. We're saying get the manguera.
He goes in, right? And like 5 minutes comes right back out. And I was like, "Did you take a fucking shower?" He's like, "No, man, I'm good." I was like, "Bro."
No, nigga. You got doodle on your back.
Dude.
You done sat on that shit.
I was like, "Man, come on, dog. Just take a shower." He's like, "Nah, man, I'm good. I was like, "Man, fuck it." Right? So we worked the rest of the fucking 6 hours more with his dirty ass, right? The whole fucking day. I drop him off. We go back, drop him off
the
in
Texas
Middlefield.
heat.
Texas heat. The next day we're there at that's when Kirtland's was coming.
He
up.
didn't smell funky.
Dude, he smelled like straight ass shit. Man. So the next day we're working at that job site, right? And he goes, "Hey, bro, I gotta go take a shit." I said, "Bro, well, hurry the fuck up, dog. They got porta potties here, dog. Don't shit your pants, right?" He takes off. He's wearing a normal white t-shirt, right? He comes back, and he wearing this fucking shirt that came up halfway up his belly.
He cut that off.
No, he was wearing like a tiny shirt that pulls up. You know, like you wear a shirt that's too tight and it's big, it pulls up. And he just got right beside me, started painting and shit. And I was working. I look at him, I was like,
What are you in a
what
crop
happened?
top for?
I said, "What happened to your fucking shirt?" He goes, "There's no toilet paper in the porta potty."
Oh, shit.
And I looked at him. I said, "Bro, out of all the fucking options you had, you decided to use the shirt that fits you and not that fucking tube top you're wearing right now, dog." He's like, "Yeah, I know, huh?" And I was like, "Bro." And he goes, "Hey, you think you take me home?" And I bitch, you gonna work the rest of the day like that, dude.
better
And I
take the
mean,
shirt off, fuck it.
whole stomach just sticking out, man.
When I first got hired on at my job, it was, I don't know if it was a regular practice or they just saw a sucker in me, but I had to go like view all the departments. You know what I mean? Just watch. But it's fucking August, bro. Summer ass heat. I'm outside in the substations and shit, and you gotta take a shit. There's a porta potty there. I'm like, fuck no, man. Like, hell no. Anyways, we get we're moving to this new McDonald's that's being built. It's been years because I've been there for forever, but the one on 34th and Quaker.
Oh, yeah.
They were barely building it, so they were like pulling all the underground wire and all that shit there, right? So I go out there just to observe. Not like I know shit over there, and I
It's like that.
I have to fucking take a shit.
Y'all doing a
There's
great
no
job.
fucking choice for me to use that porta potty, right? Same, like, dude, you're fucking sudao, have to wear a hard hat, you know what I mean?
Clench your
And
butt
I'm just
cheeks.
like, dude, this is fucking ridiculous. How the fuck do men do this every fucking day? And then I look, I'm done shitting, right? And I look and I'm like, you got to be shitting me, man. Ain't no toilet paper, dude. None.
Damn.
I had to fucking take my sock off, dude. I had to
picked a
use
good
my
option,
sock.
bro. Good option, right?
Took
there,
my
sock.
shoe off, used my fucking sock, and I was like, "You got to be fucking kidding me!" Not once did I say, "I'm gonna use this shirt."
Yeah, this one. I'll just wear this
Use
one.
both
Definitely some
socks,
socks.
please. Use both socks. At least you're even on your feet.
Even if you got long socks,
And
you can.
extra clean, so yeah, you'll be fine.
The long socks.
I knew you were a down ass fool.
Let me floss it. Let me floss real fast.
He's front to back to front.
Golly.
Of course, they would have had no toilet paper in there when
way
I
it
used
works,
it.
bro.
I'm like, "Fuck me."
I had to do that shit too in Abernathy, bro. We were putting fiber for NTS, me and my brother-in-law, and it was just me and him, and there was no restrooms, bro. And I'm telling him, I'm like, bro, I gotta fucking shit. And he's like, well, let's haul ass over there to the dollar store right quick. We had got this sandwich over there at the Lowe's, bro. We were broke, bro. We had like $9 altogether. We were like fucking hungry and shit. We've been working all morning. And he's like, I said, let's go to Lowe's and see what they got. He's like, all right, bet. So we get this fucking big ass wrap sandwich and a jar of mayonnaise, but we didn't see that it was onion mayonnaise or some shit, right? And neither
Some
one of us
weird
like
ass
onion.
flavor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like some fucking Lowe's brand shit. And like we just slapped that hole on there. He cut it in half, and I was grubbing on that hole, and I drank a Powerade. Then we get back out there to the job site. I'm like,
That 5-gallon bubbler.
man, I could see town about fucking 5 miles away, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just out there at this random ass house, and there's a dumpster, and I'm like, man, I'm about to take a shit in that dumpster. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't give a fuck at this point, you know what I'm saying? I look in there and it's full, and I'm like, fuck. Fucking, you just bubbling and it's hot, bro. It's like summertime type shit, you know? And I tell my brother-in-law, I said, bro, we gotta go back in town. He's like, why? Dude, I got a shit bad. And he's like, for real? And I'm like,
make it back in town. Are you kidding
bro,
me?
I'm fucking butt cheeks are like, I'm sitting on the seat, bro, like, abs hurting like a motherfucker.
Let's stay together.
I feel that pain in there where my fucking bladder's contracting and shit.
That mayonnaise is just knocking.
You got 3 to 5 minutes. That's all you got, and you know it.
For real, bro. We got back to town and I ran in the dollar store and I was like, "Can I use the restroom?" That we don't let public use the restroom. I was like, "Dude, I'm gonna shit on this floor, bro." He was like, "Fuck it, go ahead." I went in there, dude, and I fucking dropped my pants all over the toilet. I was like, "Oh!" It was like a movie, bro. I was like, "Holy fuck!"
Hope you left a 20 coming up.
No toilet paper in the stall.
Oh, fuck.
In the stall, in the little restroom they had, no toilet paper. I was like, fucking
paper
dollar
towels,
store?
nothing?
Nothing, bro.
Oh, man.
And I was like, no wonder y'all don't let nobody use this shit. So I fucking had to take my socks, bro, and wipe myself and shit. And I was running water. I ripped up my boxers. Fucking used that too. And I had shit on the back of my legs and shit. It was fucking terrible. I was like, fuck this shit. I go back out there and I'm like, you got some spray? He's like, what happened? I'm like, nigga, I ain't got no socks or underwear on. He's like, for real? I'm like, bro. And I was telling the worker at the dollar store, I was like, bro, y'all have all this toilet paper and shit on the shelf and you can't put none in there? We're not allowed to. Oh, shit. He said, we're not allowed to. We got to put the big rows from the company.
Shit.
I'm like, so what do y'all do? Like, if you got to use the bathroom, shit, like, it's fucked up.
But that's bad planning, bro.
socks and
I mean,
underwear.
I learned since the beginning, since I was a little kid, is you shit, you shave, and you shower.
Yeah.
Before you go out anywhere.
Yep.
And then you don't until you come back home. I mean, unless something bad happened, like him eating mayonnaise with onions or whatever the fuck that shit was.
The spoiled
Well,
ass fucking
that
club
was an
sandwich.
emergency, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, you kind of prepare yourself for the whole day. You take care of your own business the first thing in the morning. And normally you should be okay until you come back
Yeah.
home at night.
Like me, I can only shit at home. I can only shit at home, man. I will go home. I'll be
I
a
can
little
go
fool. I'll tell the
anywhere.
guys, I'm like, hey, I got to grab some material. And I'll drive all the way back here, take
Dude,
a
I
shit,
get that.
and drive all the way fucking back.
I get that, but then you got
No, I get it.
instances like
But
I
it's,
get it.
but it's not every day. It's
No,
whenever,
yeah,
you
when
know.
it happens,
yeah.
you know. But there's some people that can just shit anywhere.
Dude, I can shit
Fuck,
anywhere, bro.
I had this dude, man.
fucking Jacob.
Hell yeah.
Jacob Sines, man, that motherfucker put that ass anywhere.
Dude,
fucking shit
Who
anywhere.
is this
I'll wrap
fucking-
the whole seat with paper, bro.
he was a white guy, man. I forget his name. He worked for me, and that dude could just shit anywhere. And we were doing a house, and I asked Jay. Jay was working with us. I said, "Hey, man, where's that white dude at?" And he's like, oh, he's in the back. And I go back there looking for him. And I'm like, fuck, he ain't here, right? So I come back. I said, you sure? He's like, yeah, bro, he was back there. He said he had to take a shit, though. So I go back there and I start yelling for him, right? And then he pops his head over the fence. And he was like, what's up? And I was like, what the fuck you doing? He's like, taking a shit. And I was like, oh, okay, right? I was like, oh, okay. And he popped his head back down. And then I started thinking, I was like, that's Concrete Alley back there. There's like, where is he taking the shit at, right? So I'm like, fuck. So I wait back there and I come back around and I tell Jay and I was like, say, man, he's taking a shit. He goes, damn, he's already took one earlier today. And I was like, that's his second shit. And he was like,
worse than a dog.
Dude, it's like 9:30. Right? I was like, this nigga took 2 shits. So he comes back around and he's like, hey, man, my bad, bro. I have to take a shit again. I said, where did you shit? It's all concrete back there, man. He's like, I shitted in a box. And I was like, where'd you get the box at? He goes, in their garage. And I was like, bro, it was just empty. He goes, no, they had some shit in there, but I put it up nice and neat. So you just got a box from their fucking garage, emptied it out, and took a shit in it?
I guess it's better than shitting in the garage.
I guess so, man. I just couldn't. So his girl worked for us at the restaurant, right? And her name was Kayla. I can't remember his damn name. And so I'm telling her the story, right? I was like, man, your fucking dude's crazy, man. She's like, man, at our house, he be shitting in the backyard. And I was like, what?
That nigga was raised by wolves and shit.
I was like, no way. She's like, yeah, there's like fucking little holes dug where he can't wait because they only got one bathroom.
So he'll just go out there and shit.
Yeah, so instead of waiting for somebody to get out of the shower and take a shit, you just go outside and take a shit. I was like, that is the craziest shit I've ever heard.
He just go out, you go to his house one day, he's like,
yeah.
you go and see him outside.
You're gonna go outside
digging
like,
with his hands.
I didn't know you had dogs. Nah, that's fucking homeboy shitting out in the yard.
Fucking badass sprouts of grass.
Dude.
So we rented before we bought our home, we rented a house from my mother-in-law. And when we first moved in, it was the first time I ever lived in a house on my own. So when we first moved in, the suegra was like, oh, y'all can move in, rent the house, but on a contingency that her husband was going to use the house early in the morning because he had like a second job, like a paper route or some shit that he had to like go to every morning. So he would do that and then come to our house, freshen up, not like anything. You know what I mean? Not like come over, take a shower, and just use all our shit. You know, but it was just like a 5-minute thing. He'd come, freshen up, and then he'd go to his real job. That fucking night, bro, I fucking took one of those saline laxatives. You know what I'm talking about? Those clear waters. Dude, I had been farting nasty. My whole innards were just, it was time to get flushed out. So I took that fucking saline shit the night before and I passed the fuck out. And then I'm getting ready for work and I go to work early. Well, I wake up from a dead ass sleep just, and I'm like, oh, it's time to roll. Dude, don't you fucking know I gotta go when he's there. And I'm like, motherfucker, man. Dude, that it's an laxative.
Yeah.
Like, there ain't no holding your cheeks on that shit. Dude, I fucking ran outside. Ran to the fucking, the little cuartito corner fenced area and just unleashed the beast, man. Yeah. And, dude, I didn't even look back, dude. I just did my business and went back inside.
Just blew ass on the fence.
Yeah.
It came out so fast I didn't have to wipe. It came out clean.
If he spread it just right, nigga, he ain't got to.
Well, I mean, I hauled ass back inside to jump in the shower.
Yeah.
And by then, he was already gone. But, dude, I was like, get the fuck out of there.
One of my best friends, bro, growing up, his restroom floor was, caved in and shit. So he didn't let nobody use his restroom. And I stayed the night with him one night. And they made, fucking tacos and fucking beans and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, fuck, if I eat this, I'm going to go to the restroom, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to go across the street to my cousins or down the street to the neighbor Jesse.
You already planning,
you know what I'm saying?
planning your shit.
Yeah, I'm like, which toilet would be cleaner? So I'm fucking, I'm telling him, I'm like, bro, I got a shit, bro. And he's like, I can give you some toilet paper. And I'm like, fuck it, at least, you know what I'm saying? So he gave me some paper, and I went to the cuartito in the back. It was all torn up and shit, bro. You can see through that motherfucker. I was like, man, fuck it. I just got in the corner and put my elbows on these studs, bro, and just Paints that shit. I was all sweating, fucking shaking. Like, damn, man.
Rafa, the older generation, because I remember being a kid and like picking up my tias when we went to Mexico and shit, and each one of my tias like each brought a roll of toilet paper. Was that the normal thing to do to travel back in the day? Bring your own toilet paper?
Pretty much, especially the ladies. They were. Now that you mentioned that, I remember that a lot of them, they always had something on their bags with mertiolate or in case you cut yourself. Yeah, because you never know an eventuality, especially having kids. They usually have like 5 kids at least. And
because
it was a nightmare.
I remember being a kid and we got to go pick up your tia. She's going to go with us. And then, we got to pick up your other tia. She's going to fit in the car with us too, or the van. And they would each have like a fucking roll of toilet paper in their purse.
And you use it for all kinds of things. It's not just to wipe your butt. Yeah.
I got a roll in the car.
I just assumed, like, God damn, I was taking this shit on the road.
It was like a survival tool. Well, you know how it happened with COVID? There was no toilet paper anywhere. People went crazy for it. And I'm like, really?
That shit was ridiculous.
Out of all that shit, toilet paper is...
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Take another shower. What the fuck is so... You know what I mean?
Like, that toilet paper is made in USA. It's not going anywhere.
It's like, hey, we got this deadly virus going. Hey, go buy toilet paper.
I didn't get it. No
Cottonelle's going to save us.
Funny thing, the hurricanes when in Florida and shit, they do the same shit. Toilet paper inside.
Like, what the fuck?
I don't know why.
It's like my wife when she packs for her trip to anywhere. She packs and she acts like she's gonna shit her pants fucking 30 times. Like, why the fuck do you take so much underwear?
I will recommend
Shit
to
happens.
have paper towels in your vehicle.
Hell yeah.
I got I carry baby
Paper
wipes in all
towels.
the
I mean,
vehicles.
I believe that'll sell you about.
I got a roll of toilet paper, baby wipes, and Pampers.
Chinga.
Well, I had to start carrying
And no baby.
And no baby.
No baby. Well, I had to get big boy to fucking start carrying napkins and stuff. Cause we'd be driving, mate. My driver. Yeah. Driving, and all of a sudden it'd just be like, blow his nose in his shirt,
fuck, dude.
and then to do this and keep driving, and I'd be like, did you just blow your nose in your fucking shirt? He's like, yeah, I didn't have no fucking toilet paper. I was like, bro, we stop at like fucking 10 convenience stores before we get anywhere. Just grab some.
Pinching napkins and shit.
And he does.
Bro.
Yeah, you're right.
Bro, them whites, they're built different.
Dude, I'm like,
They do some nasty shit,
and
man.
I was like, dude, you just jizz on your tits, bro? He's a good dude, man. He's a real good dude. But I just like tripped out, like, dude, how can you just go? Like, this is like 8 o'clock in the morning, man. Like, you just fucked up,
Imagine
bro.
that bath later, he's scratching it off.
It's all stuck.
Yeah. So, Rafa, I'm gonna ask you something. You're single, right?
No,
Like, you're not married?
I've been married for 30-something years.
Okay, so that being said,
30 something.
when you were dating, I guess, was the symbolism of like a wedding ring, like if you saw a chick with a wedding ring, was that automatically no?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
No, especially when I was young. And it's funny thing also because I don't know where I got that from. That I put like a wedding ring myself. As you can see, I don't wear any rings most of the time. I put a wedding ring, and chicks were hitting on me because I was wearing. So it was kind of like because you didn't want my answer. What are you doing wearing that ring? That means you're married. I'm like, well, it's giving me a lot of luck with the girls out there. So that didn't kind of make sense, but that's the way it was.
I asked that question because because my uncles were dating when I was a kid, and you would hear like, oh, she has a wedding ring, and it was like, oh, that type of shit. But I don't hear that anymore.
Hell no.
I don't think it even.
It's cool to be a whore now.
Yeah.
You know?
A married whore?
Internet has fucked
Women,
people
I mean,
up.
but like me, if I was single, I talk different. Like if I see a ring, I'm more respectful with things I say and stuff because to me, she belongs to somebody. And I'm not-
Yeah.
So I don't want to say anything out of line or anything because I don't want to disrespect her husband or her. You know what I mean? I feel it's different. You know what I mean? So, but I thought the question was more like if does it mean something? Like if you wear a ring, they're gonna be. I don't think that keeps them faithful.
No, I
At
don't.
all,
No,
at all.
I didn't mean that in that way. I meant like because, like I said, back in the day, you always heard she has a ring. Ah, fuck, she's off limits. That type of shit. I don't think that that's a thing anymore. I think the ring means
Nothing really.
nothing at all.
It means you're taken but available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you married? Or are you happily married?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Shit like that. Are you happily married?
It's crazy. It's fucking
Like,
crazy.
bro, I see girls that are like 29, 28, married to somebody that's 60 just because they got money. You know what I'm saying? And they're over here fucking around on them at the clubs. You know what I'm saying? Like
I was gonna say that. Like
wearing a badass stone and shit.
I
you know
knew
what I'm saying?
a guy and a girl on Facebook. They were every fucking weekend was a different person. You know what I mean? Yeah, they had a past, but you didn't think that they were together. And then when he passed away, it was like, oh, my husband.
Yeah.
And
That's
I'm
every
like,
rat.
what the fuck? Like, you hadn't been your husband on these pictures
Yeah.
for fucking years. Like,
That's another swinger thing too. Like, you know, old dudes will marry like young bad bitches just to fucking watch them get fucked. That's a thing. And you know what?
Not my thing.
I talked to this dude. Being a barber,
There's a lot of stories.
Yeah.
you hear some shit, bro.
but when you say swinger, you all automatically think the hottest people.
Oh,
That's
no.
never the fucking
Fuck
case.
no, dude.
Never the fucking case.
This dude looked like a zookeeper.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I like this body walks in. You're thinking the greatest, and then I walk in. You're like,
I was
oh.
like, what the fuck? He was like, yeah, we got a couple tonight that we're gonna go see and shit. And I was like, oh damn, that's what's up.
See, I could never do it, bro. I am too jealous. And even if they're like, what about your girl with it? I'm like, I'm too jealous. I don't like to share nothing at all. That's mine forever. That whole everything, she's mine.
Yeah,
I don't want to
that
share
shit's-
nothing. Like I said, I always keep. I'm more traditional, old school.
Yeah.
on all
I
that
can
stuff.
see that.
That's just me.
You see, back in the days when I was a little kid, I saw my grandparents or even my uncles whether they were married when they were still 15, 16.
Yeah.
As the years went by, it was more like in the 20s when they start getting married. And that's why I heard, like you said, you know, all my uncles or their friends or whatever, they were keeping an eye on the ring thing. Because, like, now, don't even waste your time
Yeah.
if that one's married.
Yeah.
But they were so young back in the days when they're getting married. Now it could be any race. Most likely now they're way older to tell you to now they're getting married. There's still some of them, and very few tell you to in the early 20s.
Yeah.
But some of them, most of them now, they're 30s when they start getting married. Now, but the age difference, to tell you the truth, and I'm very interested in the female point of view, and that's one of the reasons most of my guests are females, to tell you the truth. They're complaining a lot about the young guys, about the young guns. You guys are, and I'm just saying in plural, not preferring you.
You're looking right at me,
you say,
Rafa.
no, well, you're in that direction. You're in that direction. But no, they complain that the young guns right nowadays, they're on the video games, smoking weed, getting fucked up, masturbate, and they don't want no
Dude, I love to
marriage,
masturbate.
no girlfriend, no
before-
nothing.
I know you're confused.
That's what they complain
I
about.
look so young,
Now,
but I am 45. I'm 45. So
but now
what
that's
the-
why they go with someone more mature, as
Yeah.
someone
Yeah,
at your
for real.
age.
Yeah.
They look up to that.
Yeah.
You ain't lying.
And
about
not
that
necessarily
shit.
they have that issues or whatever, but they're more mature. They know what they want. They're providers. They know their place in the world,
Yeah. Definitely.
But there's no incentive.
and they give them security. And to them, it's not just someone at their own level. The young kids at their own age, they're not at their own level. They're
Yeah.
more mature was
Well-
at their level
Well, have you
mentally.
heard that thing, that hoflation? Have you heard that on the podcast? They talk about hoflation.
Yeah.
Like these women are more hoes nowadays from back in the day. Yeah, but they still want that traditional man,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
They want
yeah.
somebody to provide and pay and take care of
course,
them.
yeah.
But yet they've already ran through like 100 dudes
But that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
And
There's
so-
no incentive for that young guy
to actually put in the
to
work.
put in the
for
work
them.
because they just
know?
want the paycheck, and then you're not gonna boss me. I'm not gonna cook for you. I'm not gonna clean for you. You're not gonna tell me what
Yeah.
to do. But you better pay my nails.
Pay my bill.
Like get the fuck out of
Fuck
here.
no.
Again, that's the big difference now. That's why they're not clicking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Not
you're right.
clicking at all.
100%. You're right.
I think that's by design.
Oh yeah.
Well,
them
there
video
was an
games.
experiment. I can't remember the name because I'm really bad with memory. But they're making an experiment. You probably Google this, where they put a bunch of rats all together, in a
From the
compound
north
or
side?
whatever. Huh?
From the north side.
Not necessarily from us, but they put a bunch of rats,
Not the hood rats.
Oh, no, no, no.
mice or mouse, whatever you want to call them, and they have plenty of food, plenty of water, so they don't got nothing to worry about. So they start having more homosexual they reproduce a lot less, and it was this whole psychological thing. And at the end of each other, they turn like very aggressive and they end up killing each other.
Damn.
Damn.
They did that experiment, and they did it several times, and the same shit happened.
Damn.
Just think about the psychological part of that. You got nothing else to worry about.
If you got everything.
Yeah, you got everything. You got nothing to look forward.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Is
if you get
that
no
why,
ambitions, no nothing.
like, not being funny, I'm being serious. Like, you hear Diddy, the diddler, when he
Oh
had,
yeah, because he had so much.
he had
everything.
so much pussy, that it just became boring, and that's why he did gay shit. Or
Yeah,
Yep.
I believe that. I believe you get everything. So now that shit is not exciting. It's not something new anymore.
gotta take
Now
to
you
the
got
next
next
extreme.
level, to
Next
the
level, yeah,
extreme,
yes,
to
sir.
the
Oh,
extreme, to the extreme.
Now you're doing
honestly
something that
told
is
that.
illegal, something with minors, something with it's like
Yeah.
against the law and all
Something
that
to
shit.
get you off now because
Yeah.
you already you're used to it. It's that,
You need adrenaline,
Yeah.
something dangerous, something
Something
that
different, yeah.
Mhm.
I was literally told that by one of my homies. You know, we spent the night at this fool's house growing up and shit, you know, till we're in my 20s and shit. And that fool just turned gay one day, and I was like, damn, bro, like, you used to get all the pussy in the world, you know, like, a good looking dude and shit, you know?
Yeah.
Like, why would you, go gay? I just got tired of it. Just got tired of pussy. I said, damn.
I never
So-
got that far.
So the next morning when he give you breakfast, you guys keep talking about this shit.
Orange juice and fucking mimosas and shit.
They were making they were making a vase behind
he
each
was
other.
like, he's like, he told Drewskii, all this goes away if you put your shirt on.
You're like, no.
Give me some orange juice, bitch.
My head is saying no, but my eyes say yes.
I take off my hat and look at my hair.
Yeah, so I think that's why, like, all these famous ass celebrities, you
Yeah,
hear
for
that
sure,
they're
man.
into like transgender,
Yeah, they're all different kinds of
all
shit,
kinds
man.
of shit.
All kind of different
But
shit.
that's one thing that when you're talking about the millionaires, super famous, the people
Yeah.
that have so much, but now it's affecting everyday people.
Oh yeah, because you
For
see
real.
that.
See what I'm
You
saying?
see that. The kids see that. They're like,
the
oh,
girls
we gotta
don't
be
want
good.
nothing to do with guys. There are a bunch of lesbians. Most of them, a lot of them. I see
Bro.
that a lot.
Bro,
That's
you remember back in the day, like, you didn't, at school, you didn't see one gay couple. You know, like, boys, maybe a girl or something. But my little niece goes over to Atkins. I live right across the street. She's like, there's like 5, 6 gay dudes that are couples over there. Like, they each got
Like
couples.
5 couples.
Yeah.
No, but also
I'm like-
before they used to kick your ass,
Yeah, for real.
Well,
and now it's like an incentive. No,
yeah, man, it's cool. It's like my cousin Angel. He's with a girl and her son is really young, man. I think he's like 15, 16. And he said openly gay and has a boyfriend and all this. I'm like, how does he even know? I mean,
Right.
has he even had pussy before? And he's like, no, he ain't had. I was like, how does he know? He's
It's
like,
just the media,
And,
bro.
and it's
Social
funny because
media.
before you used to like, even when they were born, since little kids and even babies, they have certain mannerisms.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, there's
kinda
something
are.
wrong with that one. Yeah.
yeah, but
I had a cousin that we just knew. We
there's
just
some-
fucking knew.
I see. There's
And that's
some
kind of most
tell.
normal.
Yeah.
To just okay, that's just a disbalance in the.
We were all
Chemistry
asking
or
for
whatever.
like footballs or like boy shit for Christmas, and he wanted like easy bake ovens
Yeah.
and I mean, I'm not throwing shade and I'm not talking shit. We just fucking knew.
Yeah, you just don't
we just
know.
knew.
Well, like
Yeah.
some of these young like, nowadays, I feel like they're just programmed. Like they're all the stuff they watch and hear and stuff. It's like it's cool and it's okay. Which I'm not saying it's
In
not
a,
okay.
in a
it's
way,
their choice,
yes. In
but-
a way, yes. But you also still gonna hurt the same.
yeah.
You just think about that. Just think about
I'm not
that.
saying they're not tough because you can take. I took big shits and it hurts. So if you can take a dick in the ass and smile, you a bad motherfucker.
I know, it's just
Right
I
now.
love you.
I love you. Hey,
Just whenever we take a shit, it's going one way.
Yeah.
You know?
You're all flexing.
you bad. I'm like,
That's a whole other type of pain.
you need a whole different kind of metal for that because you're a badass.
Hey, but
dude.
there's some gay guys that don't even do that.
Yeah.
Like they're tops.
They're only top.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, like I tell you that I have a painter buddy named Mondo, and you know he's an openly gay dude. Like, but I tell you, this motherfucker is like he says that he's gay, in a bit, but he doesn't have to. He's not one of these flamboyant guys that comes around. This is his private life, and this is what he does behind closed doors and stuff like that. But he's one of the fucking most craziest fucking fighter I've ever met in painting. Is like just fucking up people.
Yep.
Like I'm like, God damn, dog.
Yeah,
You know what
Hey,
I
they
mean?
be the first ones to fucking fight, bro.
And that's what he said. He said, growing up, being openly gay was tough. You know, people talk shit. I had to fucking fight. I had to hold
Well,
my
that's what
ground.
Rafa said. They'd whoop your ass if you were gay
Yeah, and that's
back
how
in the
it was.
day.
And he had older brothers, and his brothers would kick his ass.
And it's all
bring
that rage
prostitutes.
that you have inside, the not being accepted, that everybody hates you. You even hate yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You hate your parents. You hate everybody. Everybody has been your enemy at one point or another one. So just having all that bottle up inside, you're aggressive as fuck.
Yeah. I had
that
two
motherfucker
gay
don't
uncles.
bullshit.
I had two gay uncles. They were hairdressers and shit back in the day. And,
Yeah.
man, them motherfuckers were scrap. Bro.
Yeah, man.
You know,
I tell you, man, they're cool as fuck, man, but could fucking throw him like, God damn.
Yeah, Thomas always talked about one of them that he
You
was a
Andy?
fucking he was a scrapper like a
menace,
motherfucker.
bro. That dude was fucking.
No, but it's kind of like crazy people that they don't have a screen. They don't have. They're all out. They will get your eyes out of you. Because with you as a guy, you will never do that.
Yeah.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I'll punch you 10 times in your eye, but I will never go like with a fucking nail
Yeah.
get your fucking eye
Try
out
to
of your eye.
get, try to hurt you, man.
They're like so out of their freaking mind. It's just
It's the
that's how tough they are.
Yeah, it's the constant abuse and shit talk to them. They're they're already up here with it. They're
Oh,
fed
yeah.
up with that shit and they're not taking no more
Well,
shit.
back in the day, you had to be closeted.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
now it's different.
So now, what you're talking about, it being acceptable and kind of quote unquote cool. I do see how a lot of kids just think of it as it's the cool thing to do, because, like you said, like you don't even know if you're gay.
Yeah, well, I watch these shows on TV and they're letting like 5 and 6 year olds transgender. You know, and then they transition into
Oh,
a
that-
boy or girl, and it
that's-
blows my mind. I'm
They're
like,
too young to make
they're
a
too little
decision.
decisions. They shouldn't be anything.
But I think that's the parents.
You
man.
have to
that's
be an
what I'm
adult
saying.
to be.
Yeah.
So I kind of went through a little something like that with my son. Like, he's a very sweet boy. You know, he's very, like, not aggressive at all. And his favorite color is purple. You know, he wanted to paint his nails because his baby sister painted her nails. And my wife painted his fucking nails, bro. And I blew up, bro.
Yeah.
I fucking went crazy. Like, I went, like, it was almost like ending relationship shit.
Yeah.
You know
But
what I'm
what's
saying?
acceptable? Letting him paint his nails or doing what you did?
Fuck.
I agree with him for being upset.
I don't know, bro.
I
was
can
upset.
see it.
I said, whenever you're old enough to decide, then you can decide that. But I told my wife, I said, don't ever do that shit again. Like,
Yeah, you kind of
You
you're
know?
pushing them.
Yeah, pushing it that
you're
way.
pushing them. So
You're-
But like,
if
this
they
is-
do it by themselves, it's like okay. He
Introducing
went
it
to
to
his
them.
mom's stuff,
Yeah,
and
you
then
know?
he started painting his nail. He did it himself.
Yeah.
But if you're
Yeah.
pushing like,
You
here,
paint
go,
it,
let me
I
paint
paint it.
yours
That's
too.
different, yeah.
he
Yeah.
comes outside, bro. He's like, look, Dada. I'm like, fucking fire in my fucking heart, bro.
But
Just-
I'll play devil's advocate. Like, he probably doesn't know that that's a girl or boy
Yeah, yeah.
thing.
They're too
He
little
just,
to understand the difference.
He
on
just
it.
wants his nails painted because he likes
so
that
that's where
color.
I had to talk to him about that.
Yeah.
And help him understand, like, hey, nail polish is for girls. Like, some guys paint their fingernails, but
But then you'll have a real progressive person tell you it's for everybody.
yeah, for real. Because you
You'll
see all
have
these
someone
rappers and
argue with
shit.
you. Yeah.
All
see,
these rappers paint
but-
their nails different colors
Yeah.
and
Well, like,
shit.
the way I see that, like, whatever he says for his son goes.
Yeah.
He's 100% correct. If he doesn't want his son, I don't care if somebody else tells him. Let's say I think it's okay.
Yeah.
And I tell him, it don't matter what the fuck I think. That's your son. And you raise him the way you want to raise him and your values and your point of views, right? So if you feel like, hey, man, this is not what we do. This is for girls. Nobody should judge you for that. Just like you shouldn't judge somebody else for whatever they do.
Yeah, for
But
real.
at the end
agree
of the
with
day, you fucked up, then you're paying
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah, yeah,
But if
yeah.
not, it's your responsibility, and that's what you
Yeah.
should do.
But,
what you think is
but
right.
here's the thing, too. Like, okay, Drewskii didn't let him paint his nails, right? Let's just say, like we said, it's not okay to come out. You have to stay closeted. What if you're filling this kid up with rage
Yeah.
from the start? Because
I always ask him too. I'd be like, you know, just.
How
do you-
old is he?
He's 6 right now. He's about to be 7, and this was when he was 5.
He's a
So,
baby, though, man.
He's a
Yeah,
baby, yeah.
and he really didn't understand it. And then I had to show him like pictures of just my sister's friends,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Do you want to look like that?" He was like, "No, I don't want to look like that." I said, "This is a boy and a boy, and they kiss and they love each other. Is that what you want, or is that what you feel?" He's like, "Oh no, no, no." So, you know, I kind of had to make
But
them
you
understand.
weren't you weren't like coaching him to say no.
No,
Yeah.
no, I was
Yeah.
just like,
No,
you know,
right?
I mean, because if he grows up and he's gay, I'm like, fuck it,
You
you
love
know,
him regardless.
whatever.
Yeah.
But
We love him regardless.
until he's
whatever
fucking
happens.
old
But-
enough to decide, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man. That's what I said.
You're a fucking man, boy. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean,
No, I like I said, I have a little boy. He's 5, about to be 6 in August. He has real long hair, so it's always braided, super long, super kind. He has his mom, his sister, and his best friend is the youngest is Bird. It's a girl, right? That's the youngest, closest one to him. So that's his road dog. So when they play more of the girl stuff because of Bird, right? And so he's more on the softer end, but he's 5. So he wants to play that because she's playing.
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
And he likes certain things because she likes it. But I have to monitor. Like I send him now with Isaiah, Tommy's son, right? So he went over there and they were gaming and stuff today, right? So or this weekend. So I'm trying to push him more.
Yeah.
This is what boys do and this is stuff, but I can't get because I feel like at 5 and 6 and 7 at those ages they don't know what they want.
No,
man.
they're neutral. Still in their mind, they're neutral. They don't know one way.
They just like something because their friends like it or their cousin likes it.
And his best friend is a girl.
Yeah, you
This
know what
was
I mean.
My wife's
So-
best
yeah.
friend.
And what's that
Daughter.
comedian, the one that said that he dodged
autism.
Down syndrome? What's his name?
Shane Gillis.
Shane, remember
Yeah.
he said that every 5-year-old is their mom's gay best friend.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
every 5-year-old is their little mom's gay
because they're
best
always
friend.
their mama's babies, and they're always want. So I don't see. I just don't. And whenever they get to old enough to make a decision, they make their decision, right? So I'm not knocking if they're gay or not. I'm regardless of whatever Malachi decides to be when he grows up, and I'm gonna love him regardless,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
But I'm not. My values as he's little is you're a
Raise
boy.
him
This
as
is
a
boy
man.
shit. You know what I mean? This is what if nobody else likes it, tough shit.
Yeah.
This is my thing. You have your own kids, raise them the fuck the way you want. You know what I mean?
That's,
There's a certain someone that's real close to me, and he was pissed because he found out that me and the wife knew he was gay. And he was pissed because I guess he wanted to tell us. And he wanted to tell, us personally. So he was pissed that we found out that he was gay. And then he sends me a message saying I'm sorry. Sorry I didn't tell you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, bro, who you love is none of my fucking business. And I'm not saying this in a wrong, horrible way, but I don't give a fuck who you love. I care that you are still a good person, still a great man that I know who you are to be, and you still come around us and show us respect. I don't give a fuck who you choose to love. You keep that up for as long as I know you, you're still gonna be a solid person in my book. And I told him that, and he was like, you could tell that he appreciated that, but I say all that because I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't. But you have what's that chick's name? The Transformer chick, Megan
Fox.
Megan Fox. So transgender is what 5% of the population.
Yeah.
it's like real
Super small, yeah.
And she's got 3 transgender kids.
Did you see that? What's that one guy that talks about the odds of that happening are
So
fucking,
that you have the mom coaching them to do that because they don't fucking know.
Hell yeah, what the fuck?
All 3 of her boys are transgender kids.
That's
That's
weird.
when you got to blame.
Yeah, that's
the
when a
parents.
3 million chances for it to happen.
for
Yeah.
happen, man. That's just
She needs
That's
her
just
fucking
what-
ass kicked.
That's what I think. You know what I mean? Because I really think that.
that's when CPS needs to get
Yeah,
involved and
no.
shit like that. That's abuse of the kids.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a story, bro. You know that I used to work for Disney World, right? In Orlando, Florida.
You
They have an area, it's called Africa, and they have a safari where you get in this little big-ass jeep, tour in different areas where you watch animals. So at the beginning of the safari, you had to make a big line to get into the safari. They put a bunch of chimpanzees, and it was boys and girls, but they started humping each other too much, and people were calling security and shit like that, so they had to separate them. So what they did is they put the males in the front at the entrance of the ride, and the females at the exit of the ride. So I remember the females were Lulu, Lola, Lisa, Leila, and Laura. And the males were Ruben, Roberto, Ricardo, Rene, and Mauricio.
They fucked it up with the M name.
No, what happened is they knew that they didn't give him my only name like Raul or Rafael.
Yeah.
No, they gave him Mauricio because they knew there was something wrong with that one. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He used to bend over for no good reason. You know how he used to walk like that and
shit.
look to see who was looking at him. No, he was taking advantage of the other monkeys didn't have any choices, bro. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it got crazy. They had to put Mauricio somewhere else, bro. It was. They used to call us all the time. What's with the gay shit here? Over there? I mean, what the? They used to, go and flip 3 times there and land on top of the other one and hook up and shit like that. Nah, bro, what the fuck?
He wasn't a chimpanzee. He was a chimpanzee.
There's something wrong with that one. They knew already.
Is that what they call gay for the stay?
For the stage.
Looking back at it,
He's like, he goes, I couldn't fight, and I didn't have $50 for commissary. So, it was
So what you
busted 50.
what you just said, seriously, like it was embedded in this monkey's DNA, right? So I truly believe that they are people who
Oh, in nature happens also, not just monkeys or
yes.
primates or
that
mammals.
it's in their fucking DNA to just choose to love the same sex.
I believe it's some sort of disbalance, chemical disbalance. You know what I mean? In the early formation of that being, and that's it. I mean, not everything is just from one side to the other one. Sometimes you
But
get
then
stuck
you
in the
have to
middle.
agree. Then we're agreeing that it is a chemical imbalance, right? It's not something normal to love the same
I don't
sex.
know. I don't
No,
know.
normal. It depends on what you call normal. That's what the argument is
Yeah.
going to be. There's the majority is either you're male or female. That's the majority.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, there's no gray.
Okay.
Black
Well,
or white.
now, the
You're
gray,
male or
the gray
boy or
does
girl.
exist, and that's where the midsection is. That's what there's some sort of, to me, either a chemical disbalance or some sort of trauma. A lot of girls don't want that to do with guys because they had a boyfriend that they fucking
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
like shit.
feeling
Now
like
they want
shit.
girl. You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
But
That's
that's
not a disbalance. But sometimes when you see him as a little baby, you already can tell as a little child that he has, he's a little too feminine to be a boy. You see what I'm saying?
But I'm saying it has to be.
Or the
a
same thing
chemical
with
imbalance.
with the females. There's a little too much of a
Too strong.
tomboy to be a fucking girl. That's not gonna be a girl.
We've got some gay listeners that are just fucking
Wanna kill me?
fuming.
Wanna
Just,
murder
Fuck y'all,
me?
motherfuckers.
Well, then again, it's
Well, I
our
live
point of
behind
view.
Staples.
It is our point
And I
of
have a
view.
Bronco,
We're
so
not
bring it.
experts by any means. We're not experts, and that's just a male chauvinistic point of view. I guess that's
No,
what it
I
is.
agree. I
That's how
just-
we look at the world.
Well, I mean,
Sal.
'cause you look like
they can
it's-
look at the world a different way, but they're not us.
Yeah,
also.
but you're born with 2 legs. All of us are born with 2 legs.
Yeah.
If somebody was born with one, we knew something fucked up.
Yeah.
Something happened.
There's something wrong.
So the
That's not the normal.
it's not the normal. So
Mm-hmm.
being homosexual, not saying it's wrong or anything, but it's not the normal, right? Because to reproduce, to create life, you have to have a male and female.
Yeah, yeah.
2
Correct.
females, 2 males cannot.
It's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work. That means the end of that species, right? Without it, so it's the unnorm.
Yeah, yeah.
Doesn't make your love not real or what you are a bad
Or
person.
you're
None
a
of that.
less of a person than
Yeah,
us.
nothing like
You-
that at all.
No,
All I'm
yeah.
saying is an unnorm.
Well, I'm
Not
glad we
norm.
clarified that.
Yeah.
They calm back down now.
Yeah, you're okay.
Still kind of hate you a little bit. But
Bertha, you tired?
my sister on here raging like a motherfucker.
some of my best friends are gay. Some of my best friends are
Some of my
comedians.
boyfriends are gay.
So most comedians are gay.
$20 is
seen
20 bucks. I love how we resort to. I got like 4 gay friends.
You have to defend yourself somehow.
Yeah,
bro.
you can't say one because then they know you're lying.
Yeah.
You
Dude,
gotta
I know
add
most
up.
of Lubbock's community.
No, it's just when Rattlesnake Roy first came on, he was gay this, gay that, and I said, dude, my audience is gonna fuck you up, bro. And he was like, Roy being Roy, and we met up at the bar on my birthday, and he's like, dude, I've been getting it all fucking night from your people. I was like, I fucking told you, bro. I told you. Yeah. And that was the same fucking night that I told you about the scissor-in-law story. Yeah. But yeah, I was like, I fucking told you, bro.
Now I know what bit I'm gonna do for you at the end of the show.
Hell yeah. So, Rafa let the cat out of the bag, but we're going to end the show with fucking Rafa doing another set. I had a lot of feedback saying you were hilarious, bro.
Thank you.
And I
appreciate
would
it.
really love to see, your stardom, even with your podcast, fucking grow and y'all's reach fucking represent Lubbock like a motherfucker.
Well, not what was it? Not even a week ago. What's his name was here? Fluffy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and Mario Salazar opened for him.
Yeah.
Mario Salazar is I consider him one of us.
Yeah.
He has toured a lot more than me, of
Pinche
course.
superstar.
But you know, he's a Texan guy, and then he has paid his dues and shit like that. Now he's opening for fucking Flofi and one of the biggest venues over here in Lubbock, Texas.
I saw
that's
him
super cool.
open up for Raymond Horta at Club Pink.
Oh shit.
This was maybe I don't know, maybe 10 years ago. And I didn't know who he was. And I was like, who the fuck is this dude? He had me rolling like he was a famous comedian. Like
He's got it.
He was a bad motherfucker, man.
He's been on the road for so long, bro.
Yeah.
There's nothing he cannot talk about. He's seen it all. He's a super bright guy.
You can kind of tell he was an alcoholic though, because he was shaking a lot.
For real?
And my buddy was like, "You see that shake? That's an alcoholic shake." And I was like, "Damn, I didn't even know."
You don't have that Michael J. Fox shit?
No, yeah. But he's fucking hilarious.
No,
he's fucking hilarious. If y'all don't know who he is, he's always on TikTok commenting on just random viral videos. He's like, just a random viral video, and he's like, watch out. Like, all Mexican, dude. Like,
No shit.
he's fucking hilarious.
I seen a skit of him one time on TikTok, because I follow a bunch of just comedians. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to be one day too. You know.
One day.
You
gotta jump, bro.
You gotta start.
I've been
waiting for you to.
I've been writing some jokes, man.
Oh, you told me yourself that Rafa's been on your ass
For a while already.
Yeah. I just the way my check-ins and my savings. Gotta spend more time at work right now for
So
my gas bill's $50 this month, bro.
50? Not bad.
50? That's not bad.
Oh, that's fucking good.
Yeah, that's real good. I think the lowest gas bill I ever paid was like 90.
No shit.
Yeah, it's about that.
Yeah.
But
I just lowered it from like $3.50 though.
you might have a gas leak
I
somewhere.
let that bitch build up for like 3 months, 4 months.
Oh yeah, man.
that's
Fucking
why.
who is it? Atmos. They'll let you go forever, and then they're like, "All right, you owe us $1,000." What?
Dude, I fucking got my neighbor's gas bill on accident, and I didn't even look at it. I just
just
seen
opened
Atmos,
it,
and I was
yeah.
like tired and shit, and I just fucking. And it was like 6,400. I was like, "What the fuck?" Ooh, thank God that ain't my name. Fuck.
You got some mail.
Are you sure you don't plug your stuff through your phone or something like that?
Some shit, bro. I was like, "Ooh, thank God that is not my fucking mail." Shit. Now I told her, I said, "Hey, Miss Tom, you accidentally opened this up. This is for you." She's like, "Oh, thank you."
I put a little $5 in there to help you out.
I
Look like
can
you
hear
need
when
it.
she closed the door.
So, Drewskii, did you come up like dating a lot of chicks, or
Not really, bro.
you didn't?
I was just fucking them.
Okay, well that's what I mean by dating. Like,
No, there was no dating.
So, like, what was your very first relationship like? Was it a good or a bad experience?
My first
An actual boyfriend girlfriend.
my first actual boyfriend girlfriend relationship was over the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
1-800 check it off. 1-900 check it off.
It was 604 602
It was all a vato.
It was all
some
fucking
dude with a feminine voice.
Arizona number. I was on the party chat and shit.
Live links. He was on
So
live
one of my
links.
homeboys, man, they hooked up with this. Push 7 to exit the room.
To go private.
Next room, pound. You have entered pussy pounders.
Then you get the bill. The phone bill. Like, oh, shit.
My mom, who the fuck have you been calling? 99 cents a minute. And so my homeboy had he got with this girl, and they always put me on. You know what I'm saying? They were always like, "Oh shit, yeah, you got a sister," because I was the younger one than my older homies, you know. And he was like, "You got a sister that my brother can talk to," you know, and I'm like, "Yeah, shit." So I started talking to this girl in Abernathy.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Can you come over here and see me, this and that?" And I'm like, "Hell no." At this time, we got MySpace, bro, or Moco Space too, you know what I'm saying? And like, that's how we talked, you know, that's how we seen each other. We sent each other pictures
said
and
Moco
shit.
Space?
Yeah, you never had one?
What the fuck is that?
Oh, man. It was a Texas MySpace, like just for Texas.
They call Moco?
Yeah, MOCO.
Damn, that's new to
And
me.
it was,
Never heard
it
of
was
that.
red, green, black, and blue, the letters were.
Wow, I've never heard of that.
For real.
You know what Moco means, right?
Booger.
Booger, yeah.
Yeah, it's called Moco Space, bro. It's crazy. It's fucking. It was like a generic MySpace, but we got to talking on there, and next thing you know, like a week later, I was like, I think I love you, and she's like, I love you too. You're sweet. Can you sing me a song to sleep? I was like, hell yeah. So I was singing fucking Shy.
Oh shit!
For the
That was
very
love,
first.
bro.
And I don't know if y'all know, but yo puedo cantar.
Como la flor.
Es más fácil para mí.
This comes real easy to me.
And I mean, it was just one of those things, bro. It was like when we broke up, I was like, this ain't gonna work out.
And y'all never met?
Yeah, dude. I went to her church one time. Like some of my sister's friends. So just so happened they lived in Abernathy and invited us to church. And I was like, I want to go. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hitting her up. I'm gonna be at 1 Cross 3 Nails tomorrow.
Abernasty, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Them
So I
girls
get
are
there.
dirty.
Hey, bro, this nigga. And I was like, Chingo, I've been talking to you. I always got face shots. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of chest. You know what I'm saying?
That's the big girl move.
Nothing below.
That should have been the tall tale
That
shit,
shit-
bro.
That's the big
Tall
girl
tale.
move.
That's what put me on game to not trust bitches.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
You know what I'm saying? Because I seen her and I was like, holy fucking shit. You know, she had like this little mole right here on her cheek and shit, which, in the pictures was cute. She had a nice slim face. But goddamn, boy. She looked like a triple cheeseburger. With some-
Why is it that on a female that's heavy set, you can't tell by the face? You can never tell. Like with a guy, that motherfucking that dude's got like 8 chins.
Fucking
the
cheeks fat and
but
shit.
the fucking girl, like
Yeah.
you just see the picture of their face, you would never think.
And they look good and shit. They're all fucking angles and shit, bro. They're
That's what it is, ain't it? Somebody's holding the neck in the back.
like, Mom, come here.
Oh my Greek wedding.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. I was just like, what the fuck?
Dude, MySpace got me a lot of pussy, bro.
For real?
A lot of pussy. It was crazy.
I had my top 5.
I missed that app.
I had my
It
top
wasn't even
5.
an app. It was a website back then. You had
I
your
still
top
got
5.
it. It's still on it.
Remember, you can fucking,
You had your top 10.
hell
Yeah.
yeah. You can code in your fucking background and shit.
Everyone was a fucking coder.
Yeah,
Everyone,
yeah.
dude. Everybody knew coding when
For real,
MySpace
that
was
shit
back in
was
the
wild.
day. Like, it
I'd
was
be like,
crazy.
/ falling skulls / period.
I would
something.
just post the most wildest shit. I wish I could go back and like retrieve it. And it never failed. Like always chicks in the inbox like, oh my God, you're so funny. And
Hell
boom,
yeah.
that's all it took.
There's gotta be a hacker in Russia that has access to that shit. I bet.
I
you.
bet. I would love
tried
to like
to.
go back and see all the dumb shit that I posted.
Have you tried to reopen it?
Nah, I ain't even tried
You gotta
it.
try
Because
it.
I heard like
It's a music. It's
yeah,
a
I heard
music
it's a
thing
music
now.
thing now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they erased everything because I tried to get back online. I remember my passwords and everything. You know what I'm saying? Yahoo account and shit.
Yeah.
You know,
And it's all gone.
it's all gone. Everything's been deleted or it's not active anymore. I was like, damn.
Wow.
So, in middle school, we had 2 couples, boyfriend girlfriend, in the 7th grade. They got pregnant. In 7th grade, they fucking were pregnant. That scared the ever living shit out of me. Like, I was so scared of pussy because of that. And then you had the weight of my uncles and my parents. Like, you better not get nobody pregnant. That type of shit. So my very first girlfriend, it was 8th grade, like kind of like the end of the school year going into 9th grade. And yeah, dude, just hanging out at her house. And it
What was her name?
just hanging out at her house. And she was like, you know,
remember.
What was
it's
it?
time to get down.
Did I know her?
I don't know. It's time to get down.
She's from Lowell?
Yeah.
You know, like, change something, motherfuckers.
And it's time to get down and dirty. And I'm like, fuck no. I'm in 8th grade. Like, I got no business.
She told you it's time to get. It is
No,
time to get done.
she's like legit, like trying to take my shirt off. And, you know, like, she's not even telling me. Like, she's fucking in action. And I'm,
Yeah, I've never done this before.
so I'm like, no. Like, and I'm scared, dude. I'm fucking scared. I'm like, no, this ain't cool. Like, you're not about to see my little pee-pee. And so, long story short, I voided, like, stop. And, like, I'm going to leave, like, pull the fucking door to leave the front door. and she fucking hits me on the back of the head, and not like a like
No,
fucking
she
a full
punched
blown
you.
boom, and I'm like, whoa! I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here, man. And that was like the peak of that relationship that just led to, because I was a dumbass. I stayed with her for like maybe like 9 more months.
Is that like a sexual move though? The donkey punch, right? The donkey punch.
And dude, it was a horrible experience. Fucking just like, I don't even know why I stayed there. So we hated each other, and we were still like call each other on the phone like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
dude, it
Who
was
you been talking
horrible.
to?
Yeah.
Nobody call.
It was a very horrible fucking experience.
Yeah, dude, this shit.
Yeah, this doesn't sound good at all.
No. And yeah, I don't even know what ever became of her.
Same. Bro, after I found out that, like, there was pussy everywhere, it was, like, unstoppable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was just like, dude, I grew up in a trailer park. You know what I'm saying? I was fucking retarded hoes. I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know, bitch walking around with a cock eye, shit, she was getting it.
And then like my friends at the time, my friends are like, "Ah, did you fuck her?" I'm like, "No, dude." Like, you pussy. I was like, I'm a pussy. Fuck that. I'm not gonna fucking do that. Because I instantly thought, I didn't know shit about sex, but I instantly thought once you fuck her, she's pregnant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
You want to hear about my losing my virginity?
well, while we're on the topic,
So this girl fucking comes to me and my homeboy, and she's like, we're 12, bro. 13 years old, you know? And she's like, I found a movie in my mom's room, and I want to do that. I want to do what's on the movie. And, like, we didn't even know, like, it was called sex. You know what I mean? Like, she's like, I just want to do what they're doing. Like, you know, she's like, we're like, all right, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? So my friend had
you thinking you're gonna go play guns and shit?
Yeah,
I don't know what
like,
kind of movie this is.
magic tricks.
yeah, like, fucking, is it Harry Potter?
Was Harry?
Had a little fuzz on it. But so I'll go.
And she's
to
y'all's
her.
age?
Yeah, she's our age, bro.
Okay.
You know, she was actually 1 year older than us, and I was 12, bro. You know, and my homeboy was, I think he was 13, and she was 13, something like that. But we go to her house. My homeboy's like, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go do something. I think he got a little scared or something, you know. And I'm just sitting there like, yeah, I'm ready to fucking do whatever, you know, like. And then she puts that movie on, and I just turned red. I was like, fuck. You know, damn, his fucking dick looks huge. You know, I'm looking at mine like,
Oh, I thought you were like, that's gonna hurt.
you want to do that to me? So we're like literally sitting next to each other, you know, just kind of looking at each other like, you know, like, are you ready? You know, she's like, are you ready? I was like, I don't know, you know?
Yeah.
And so keep in mind, bro, I've been molested when I was 9 to like 11. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just sitting there in my head like, fuck, I don't know. She gonna do what my dad did to me? You know, like, you know, like, is it gonna hurt? Like, is it, you know, I'm not gonna feel that same way. You know? What I'm saying?
Yeah.
So she drops her pants, bro, and pulls off her panties. I'm just looking at it like, holy shit.
Dude,
like,
you're a kid, bro.
Yeah,
You're
bro.
a fucking kid.
And so my homeboy, I remember my homeboy having a kid in 7th grade too. My boy Eddie, they had got pregnant in 7th grade, and I was like, damn, this is a thing, I guess, you know. And so she like bent over, bro, and she was like, just put it in. And I'm all on soft and shit, bro, and I'm like, my heart's beating full, and I'm like, I don't know if I can, you know. And she's like, just stick it in, just get hard and make it hard and this and that. And I'm like,
Was it her first time too?
It couldn't have been
No.
her first time. Yeah, like there's no
couldn't have
way,
been, bro, because
No,
like,
she's giving directions.
Yeah, she already knows what time it is.
so I'm like starting to play with it, right? And I'm rubbing it on there, and I'm like, oh fuck, that feels doesn't feel like my stepdad's mouth. That's for sure.
God dang. Fuck.
I'm just rubbing it on there, and I'm like, okay, yeah, it's getting hard. Damn. Okay, yeah, there it is. There it is. Bam, right, stuck it in. I was like, holy shit. I didn't know what to do, bro. So in the back of my head, I'm like, what would my dad do?
Fucking A, dude. God dang. I thought this story gets better.
And I was just like, I had no stroke game. I
it was
just
all
like,
head.
Yeah. I was like,
bobbing
woo,
your head.
something's happening.
You didn't have nut back in the day,
No,
did you?
bro.
Yeah.
Like, and I was just like, I think we're done. Like, the movie was done. So I was like, I think we're done. And she was like, are you good? I was like, yeah, I just want to go home, you know?
Also,
So I went home and I was like, what the fuck just happened? So I called my friend, right? Picked up the phone. I was like,
you should have stayed, fool.
I was like, hey, bro, I got to talk to you. He's like, what? What happened? I was like, it was crazy. I couldn't even tell him, bro. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what to say.
They had snacks.
I was like, I put it in her. And he's like, what? I said, I put it in her. And he's like, you fucked her? And I was like, yeah, I did fuck her. That's what it's called. You know? Like,
That's what it's called.
I was like, yeah. And man, that shit was fucking crazy though, dude. I was like, damn. And like, I would see her like every now and then. I'd just be like, hey, you know. And we're fucking just talking like nothing happened, bro. You know what I'm saying? And
Please tell me she grew up to be a respectable.
no, she was a whore.
Damn.
She was a dirty whore.
Yeah, the odds are stacked against her.
Yeah, already.
But then, so like weeks after that, we stayed the night at my sister's friends, which was like, you can see my fucking trailer from here to there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they're like, you can sleep on the top bunk with Jamie. And I'm like, Jamie? Like, she was the prettiest girl, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My age and shit. I'm like, we kind of dated, you know what I'm saying? We kind of had a little thing. And I was up there on the top bunk bed, and I was just like,
Pitching a tent.
I hope that shit don't happen again. 'Cause I don't know what the fuck to do, you know? And they're like, are y'all okay? And I could hear them down there laughing and shit. And Jamie grabs my hand. She's like, it's okay, just go to sleep. And I was like, okay. Like, fucking. Woo. And I didn't know what
Dodge
the
that
fuck,
bullet.
bro. Like,
Dodge that one.
and then I grew up, and then I realized, like, okay, this is stroke game. You know what I'm saying? Boom. This is busting right here.
Well,
you know?
fuck, dude, you were 12, man.
Yeah.
Fuck.
By the time I was like 15, I had like 3 or 4 bodies already.
Fuck,
Yeah.
dude. Applegate was rough.
It was fucking ghetto, bro. It was ghetto. And then when I was 15, this I'm not gonna say her name, but this girl's fucking mom was like a crackhead and shit, and she was like, "Hey, do y'all have $5? This and that, da da da." And I was like, "What you need $5 for?" You know? And she's like, "I need to give me some smoke and this and that." And she's like, "I'll fucking suck y'all's dick if you give me $5." Nigga, I was like, "Bing! I'll be right back."
shit.
Nigga, I got quarters and shit. I'm like, "There's 3."
A lotto ticket.
That one's good for $1.
Good for $1.
I'm like,
$2 scratch off first 2.
nigga, I was counting dimes and shit, scraping off the washer.
Checking the
Change on
payphone slots.
Fuck yeah. And I got that blowjob though,
Oh,
for sure.
fuck, man.
That was the wildest one too.
I would imagine.
It felt like, she was sucking my butt cheeks through my fucking dick. I was like, whoa. Every time I was like, holy shit. And she was a grown woman. She was about 30.
Fuck, dude.
And she had a fetish for.
You can write a book, motherfucker.
Man, you ain't lying, bro. And that's the 3rd time I heard that. The 3rd.
That's 3 times,
Pick
brother.
number 3, my lord.
Rafa, what was your first relationship like?
It was September 20, 1980.
Shit.
Around 1,700 hours.
You're like that one guy. Damn, you old.
I wasn't behind the back wall of a skating ring in a dumpster.
Oh, shit.
And this girl named Linda is the one who
Look it.
she went down on me.
Hell yeah. That shit tickled, right?
And no, but she told me, let me know when you're about to finish, and that kind of.
I didn't know what that was.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what that meant.
I didn't like that shit. I said, nah. And I came up with this thing, like, and right there in the moment, like, don't you know you swallow, your cheeks will get bigger?
Yeah, nice.
But
I wish I
back
would've known
in the days, you can get away with it because there was no Google, no Wikipedia, no computer,
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
And everything that was sexual was hush hush. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I told her, but it has to be every day for 3 months. Best 3 months of my life, bro, right there.
Fucking A, hell yeah.
It's like, tell me when you're finished. I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah.
After I nutted, I was like, I guess I'm done.
I finished.
I'm finished. I'm done.
Oh, you meant before?
There was a bitch in the trailer park, bro. There was a bitch in the trailer park that this other guy, they called him Bubbles. He fucking would stick one of them swirly straws up her ass. And
What the fuck, bro?
she would be on the counter.
What the fuck?
She'd be on the counter,
dude?
just squatted down, and that nigga's like, "Hey, come here."
Her name Bubbles.
I walked in the trailer, and I'm like, "What's up?" We're finna smoke and shit, you know. Like that was my thought. I was like, and I just see that fool like, "Hey, bro, check this out." I was like, "What the fuck?" As much as you put in, it comes out.
It comes out.
Like,
There's nowhere to go.
Dude, that has to be true because there ain't no way someone could think of that. Nobody could think of that
bro.
fucking story.
I swear.
Shit gets wild in those trailer parks, bro. I'm telling you. Just you
If
hear all this
there's
kind of
fucking
stuff.
meth and cocaine and weed involved, it was fucking nuts, man. It was
Fucking me.
like I really should write this shit down in a book.
Yeah.
It's called the Life of Applegate.
Applegate.
Shady Acres.
The book side by side of yours and Mr. Iz's book. Dude. Y'all would take the New York Times bestseller by
Bestseller.
fucking storm, bro.
Hey, I'm thinking, fuck it, I'm gonna do it, bro. Well, it all began when my three-thumb dad slept with my mom.
Oh goddamn! I hope your first time or your first girlfriend was better than that.
Yeah. Definitely nothing like that. No straws. No dumpsters.
No bubbles.
No bubbles.
What was her name again?
I've actually talked about
Because
her on this
I
podcast
see
before.
her name. You didn't. No, you guys did.
I can't say the name.
I'm pretty scared because she's probably a listener now.
I'm pretty sure. I think this one. I think I consider my first legit girlfriend. We've talked about her before.
Oh yeah.
That was I consider my first actual girlfriend, and you know what, man? It made me who I am today.
For real?
For sure, bro. I really, really liked her, man. I of course never slept with her or anything like that. We were young, but anyway, she told me one time that she couldn't be with me because one of the guys she started dating had more money than me. Like he came from a good family, rich family, and stuff. But of course, I'm from Tech Ghetto. You know what I mean? Didn't have shit.
Yeah.
And shit, all my clothes was his clothes. You know what I mean? So I didn't have shit growing up. When she told me that, it really broke my heart, man. Really fucking broke my heart. And so from then on, I was like, well, I'm not good enough looking to just get girls all the time. So I have to make money. So that was always my goal after that, was just like, if I get successful and I make money, then I'll have women. You know what I mean? So I never wanted a female ever to tell me again that I didn't have enough for them. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Which is kind of shitty, but kind of good.
Yeah.
You know, it really did me well in life after that. But yeah, she was the first one. I don't know nothing against her, man, but I think that was my first person I really thought I loved.
It's funny that you say that because now I'm thinking about my story, and it kind of did mold me to what I wanted in a girl. Because I didn't want none of that. I did not like instill. I mean, I've been married, 10 years together, 14. Even before dating, I didn't like an aggressive chick.
Yeah.
I did not. I just was.
It's a turnoff. To me, it is. Like if a girl's super aggressive.
Yeah, man, I've always liked the real sweet, girly, you know. Shit, my wife now, she's a fucking dog, boy. I turned her into a beast. She was, when we first got together, her family ran over her, bro. Like, talk bad to her, and she'd just be like, I'm like, oh, fuck no, nigga. Like, what? Y'all better put some respect on this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, bro. Like, whenever I first got with her, her family talked to her bad, bro. Like, they treated her like shit, you know?
Wow.
And I was like, I told her, I said, if I'm gonna be with you, that shit gonna change, cause you got a real nigga on your team. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And they got the gist of the, you know what I'm saying? Cause I started telling them like, oh man, that's your sister, bro. Like, respect her, bro. You know? Or and she'd just be like, I've never had anybody stand up for me. And I'm like, shit. You know, I guess that's what made me fall really in love with her because she seen me like as her hero. You know?
That's crazy that you say that because when we started dating, obviously my son's not my biological son, but he was young. And on the summers, they would make her be available and make her drive him to Houston and all kinds of shit. Like, it was all on her. And they had, like, the fear in her that if she didn't do that, they were going to take her to court and fight for custody, all this shit, right? And so she's, like, just bowing down to everything, all their demands and shit. And when I stepped in the picture, I was like, fuck no. Fuck no.
Yeah.
And I made her realize, like, you're in charge
Of your own self.
Yeah,
Hell
and
yeah,
I
man.
think when we first started dating and they knew that I wasn't going nowhere, I think they fucking hated me because I was like,
Obviously.
hey man,
For sure.
like nah. And then even when he was kind of like older, elementary, going into middle school, and they would come to the house and like visit him or whatever, I knew that they were like, oh, this is the guy that's stepping in to be his dad. Like, we're not gonna fuck up this dynamic. Like,
Yeah.
at least I could tell that they were that respectful, but they were, like they would come and he's ours, like, so fuck y'all, back off. And I'm like, nah, fuck, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
Yeah. I feel you on that shit for real, bro.
I said with Angel, remember, Angel's not biologically mine. I got with her mom when Angel was 1. She's going to be 22 now. But the dude was never around, man. And, you know, I remember when we first started dating, we were being there almost a year then, and she was crying on the phone. And I was like, who are you talking to? I hear somebody yelling. I was like, what the fuck crying? And she was like, he told me to, because she had called him and asked him for diapers, money for diapers. And she was like, I just need like $20 for diapers. And he was like, well, tell your boyfriend to give you that $20 and you can shove it up your ass. She tells me he says that, right?
Damn.
And I'm like, wait, give me the fucking phone, right? So she gives me the phone. I said, what'd you say? And he was like, no, man. I said, look, I'll take care of your kid. Ain't no fucking problem, bro. I'll take care of her. I said, I'm with her, but don't ever speak to her like that again, man. And he was like, nah, man. I said, no, don't worry about it, bro. Don't ever send no money. She'll never ask you again. I'll take care of her, and I'll take care of your kid. And he was like, nah, it's nothing like that. But when I see you, we'll talk. You know what I mean? We'll talk, man. So I left it at that, and ever since then, man, I told her, don't you ever ask that motherfucker for a fucking penny. I said, you're with me, she's with you, so she's part of the deal. I'll take care of her, no problem. And then it was always like that.
This was new. Like,
This was
y'all
new.
were barely
yeah,
started dating.
but it really bothered me because I saw her crying. I'm like, you're asking for $20 fucking dollars? Come on.
20 bucks.
Yeah, he made a big old and like he wasn't on child support at that time. Like 20 fucking bucks. Like, come on, man. So we got together. So I started paying for everything, and then, like you said, they would make her take her to Little Phil and then bring her, but she had to go back and forth, pick him up. And then she had her all the time. And then when it was income tax time, he would claim 1 year, then she would claim 1 year. And I was like, why do you do that for? And then she was like, well, because that's what his mom said. I said, I don't give a fuck.
No.
I said, it ain't my money, it ain't my shit. But I'm just telling you, if I was you, I would claim it all the time.
But it is your money. You're the one who just took over the payments.
Yeah, but they would always try to throw the like, oh, I said, man. So when he started paying, so she finally took him to child support and stuff like that. And then, so it came out that he had to pay like $83 a month, right? $83 a month. And every 2 years, you're supposed to go back and like reassess it.
Evaluation.
$83.
And I would tell her, I said, don't fucking file for that. She's like, why? I said, because
Put $82 here.
yeah, I said, don't worry. I said, don't worry about that money. If he wants to be part of life, he could come, right? And so for years, man, he would never. And then he would tell people like, oh, because, you know, we would go on trips and we'd have shit to be like, well, it's because of my money. They use my money. And I would hear,
$80?
and I was like, and people would tell me, and I was like, man, that motherfucker gets $83 every once in a while. I said, you know what?
He's
pays
still
for-
on back pay.
Yeah, I'm like, this motherfucker, and they're like, you don't trip. I said, I don't trip, man. I said, I love her now as my daughter. I love her mom. I said, I don't trip, man. I said, if he wants to come around, come around. I'm not stopping him. So it went on that for years, and then her quinceanera came, right? And I didn't want, and nothing against anybody, I just didn't want to have a lot of people pitching in, because I didn't want to chase people down. That's one thing I hate. People have great intentions when they're like, oh, I'll help you, and I'll put in. And then shit happens. They don't have the money at the time, and things happen. And I don't want to be chasing them and hounding them and depending on. So I paid for everything, the whole fucking chingadera, right? And so we had it catered, and we had servers, we had everything, the whole fucking thing, right? And I told her dad's side of the family that they were invited. They had a table, and they were like, "Well, we want to do something. So well, you could do the crown. If you want to buy something, you could buy the crown, $250, right?" I said, "Don't give me the money. Go to the mall. What's that place in the mall that does the quinceañera dresses and shit, right?" I said, "You could go pay them directly. You don't have to give us no money. Just go pay them directly, and they'll let me know if it got paid or not." They said, okay, we'll do that. So every time we would go in there, the girls get the dresses, I would ask. I said, "Had they came in and paid for that crown yet?" And they're like, "No, nobody's came in, nobody came." So I was like, "You know what, man, here. I fucking paid for it so they could get it ordered." And I said, "Look, I'll pay for it, and if they come in, just use whatever they give you for something else, but just tell them it's the crown thing." They're like, "Okay." Never came in.
Damn.
That was $83.
Right? So like, I gotta divide it. So they actually showed up
Child support,
they
crown.
showed up to the quinceañera, right? They came, they had their own table, and
It takes balls to do that.
the dad shows up, right? And he comes and stuff like that, and then he wants to do the father-daughter dance, right? And Angel tells me, and I'm like, "Look, baby, you can dance with your dad. It's okay." She's like, "But I want to dance with." I say, "If you could dance with both of us, it's your quinceañera. That's your dad. At the end of the day, regardless of what he is, he's your dad. You know what I mean? I'm here, and I'm never going nowhere, but that's your dad. You know what I mean?" She's like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Yeah, man, no problem." So she says, "Okay." So she tells him and stuff like that. And then he was like, "Well, my mom got her a necklace, and we want to present it." I said, "Well, that shit ain't going to fucking fly. Number one, I'm already going to let you dance with her, but you're not going to present in front of everybody like you did shit here."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, okay." So we're there, and he takes off. I don't know where he goes, but he misses the father-daughter dance.
Oh, hell.
So he misses the father-daughter dance. So me and her dance and stuff like that. I said, "It's okay, baby." I said, "Later on, you could dance with your dad and stuff like that." She says, "Okay." So we do the thing, and then I bought her a Mercedes. So they brought the Mercedes into the place, and so she's, of course, a kid. She's super excited and shit. Well, my brother-in-law, my brother-in-law Tommy, right? They're all there, and then all his homeboys are there. They all get there. Everybody's getting turned up now because the quinceañera, the normal shit's over.
Yeah,
Now it's
it's
party time.
Party
Party time,
time,
right?
yeah.
So they have bottles. They have fucking shit. And then we had 2 bartenders, open bar, but they brought their own bottles, and they're getting fucked up, right? And then they're all like, "Hey, who's her dad?" And they're like, "Yeah, that motherfucker over there," and shit like that. But, dude, they
That
came,
fucking piece of shit with $83.
Dude, my brother-in-law Tommy all started just like checking him and checking his whole family and everything. I was like, "Hey, man, we gotta
Calm
we
down."
gotta chill out, man." I mean, I invited them. It's all good. They're like, they said they were gonna leave because they felt unsafe with their. I was like, "Man, I don't know what to tell y'all, man. Like, I told you you're cool. I told them, but it's already late.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers are already
Lit.
and then they're like, they're like, "Man, we love you, man. You've been a good dad to Angel."
Yeah.
And I said, "No, we're good, bro." I said, "But I let them make it, bro. Let them eat it." And like, "No, fuck them." I was
Fucked
like,
up for us.
Yeah.
You're her fucking dad.
Exactly. And I was like, I know. I'm over here trying to play peacemaker.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, come on.
But any spark could just turn into a big fire.
Oh,
So
man.
it's
And
better I'll just take out.
yeah, and it was good that they left and stuff like that. But like I was telling, he's met my brother-in-law, so
Yeah.
that young generation don't give 2 shits about nothing. You know what I mean? They're about to fuck up grandmas and aunts and
I'll take her
everybody on that-
fucking walker, fool.
Everybody on that table was about to get lit up, and so I'm glad they left. But like everyone's like, "I can't believe you invited them, bro, and let them get a table and fed them." I said, "Yeah." I said, "That's for people."
That shows you what kind of man you
Yeah,
are.
those are her people, man. And they were like, "Man, that's fucking crazy." But it wasn't thinking. I did it for her.
Yeah, exactly.
And at the end of the day, I never spoke bad about him to her or in front of her because that's your dad. Regardless of what your dad is or if you like him or not, it's always gonna be. You only get one.
Yeah.
You only get fucking one, man. So I don't talk shit on him, even though on a personal level between me and him, he ain't shit.
It's fuck him.
Yeah, he ain't shit.
But it's like Rafa said, the balls on them.
Yeah.
Dude, you have no idea. So I do graduation pictures. I do quinceañeras. You have no idea how fucking awkward. And in my mind, I'm like, why did y'all fucking come? Because the graduation pictures, the real dad all of a sudden wants to be there or be in the pictures or whatever. And you could tell there's no fucking love at all between the kid and the real dad.
Yeah.
Never. Even at quinceañeras, it's fucking obvious to me as a photographer that there's no fucking love, and you're like, in my mind, I'm like, why would you even fucking come, dude?
But that's how low class people are nowadays, bro. That was not the way it used to be.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Even you go to a funeral, look at what they're wearing.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Look at how they behave.
I've been to one.
They have. You see, there's nothing rare now. It's almost normal. Let me put it that way.
It's a shame.
It's sad. It's sad.
Sad.
It's
sad,
terrible.
man.
I don't understand the grandparents though, because they're older. They're an older generation. They know that their son is a piece of shit and never been a part of the kid's life. But then it's quinceañera time, and it's like all of us as a family, we're gonna go.
Yeah.
And you're like,
They're trying to. I feel like they're trying to save face. You know, in that old generation, you didn't do that. You didn't put on that. You
There
were
was
there
a very
regardless.
separate. There was a line with what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah.
That shit is gone.
Yeah.
Nobody know where the fucking line is anymore.
No, that's the truth, man.
that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
Super crazy.
But it's funny that you brought that up because I see it all the time, and I just recently did a quinceañera where, no one knows who this is because I hadn't even posted pictures, but like you said, the real dad wants to dance or whatever, and so they were like, she's gonna dance with her dad, and then it was the absent father that did the dance, and then as soon as the opportunity presented itself, she was like, now I want to dance with my real dad. She said that,
Blasted them.
and I was just like, if she has the balls to say that, why did you even come?
Yeah.
Ouch.
Hey, some people are comfortable with that shit though.
But you know, maybe she had a lot of pressure to have him come.
But also at the same time, let me put it this way: if we really think about it, let's say you and me have that situation,
Yeah.
okay, and it's my real daughter, but you're the stepdad nowadays. You got money, or whether we have money or not, or whatever, the quinceañera gets paid. Why don't I just give her one quinceañera and you pay for another quinceañera?
You could, but
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if I had no money, then I'm gonna have to do what I have to do, right? Maybe just in the house, maybe just immediate family, and that's it. If you have a lot of money, you can make a big ass party with the Mercedes and
Yeah,
horses and
but it shouldn't-
mariachis and all that
Yeah,
shit,
yeah.
right?
I don't think the party's the whole thing. I feel like even if the dude would come
But
to her
it's-
games, the free shit, the games,
Yeah.
her
But that's what I'm saying.
graduation, like her awards.
That's the best way to be fair, because I will provide her with what I can, and he will provide her with what he can.
Yeah,
You see the biggest difference?
but you're saying
Why
that-
am I going to take advantage of that motherfucker spending millions, and me ain't trying to look good in the fucking picture? I mean,
but
what the
I would
fuck
like
is that
if,
all about?
let's say it was me and you, right? I would have a lot more respect for you if you were at the games. I have no issue with. I have no issue with him because he was with my wife before I even knew her. So there's no animosity. It wasn't like she cheated with me on him and we had this hate towards each other. There's a time difference. So if he would just show up to things, I have no issues. Come.
He doesn't
Come
have
eat.
the right to be at that party that he didn't pay.
No.
Do you understand
but
that?
But what I'm saying is, if he was a part of her life, then of course you're a part of her life. I
Going
love
to
her.
games,
Come.
track
If we
meets,
would've-
shit like that.
If I was decent enough to go, like, hey, bro, let's go half and half. Oh, now I have the fucking right to be there.
No,
You see what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but I would still, even though I did invite him, I would still have invited him, even if he didn't have them. If we're on financial differences, and I made way more than him, and he had nothing, but he gave his time to her, like to come.
That's
and
the difference,
That's
yes.
what I'm saying. I would be like, nah, bro, don't worry.
But he was a piece of
Come
shit
sit
for
there.
what you're telling
That's
me.
What, yeah, he was a piece of shit.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why I was like,
That's why
man,
I would
fuck
just
this
close
dude.
the door. Fuck him.
Still,
Yeah.
but I love her.
Yeah.
So that's her dad. Like, okay,
And that's
come.
why
Because-
let your dad provide you with what he can provide you.
There's only
That's
one
it.
thing in this world that's worth more than money, and it's time.
Time. You can't get it back, man.
Yeah, time is worth way more than money.
That's why when you get in trouble, they take that from you.
Yeah,
They give
yeah.
you time to serve. You can never ever get it fucking back. I could always make more money. Anybody. You can make more money. You can make more. We could all make
Yeah.
more money. But you can't make that time back.
That is true.
And it's
gone.
like when I going back to my wife's story, when I first started dating her, it was always a money factor, always a money factor. Like we make all this money, and so you've got to do what we say because we make way more money than you, and we'll crush you. We'll take you to court and crush you. that type of shit. And I was like, it's not about money. And I opened her eyes to being like, it has nothing to do with money. It's all about parenting. Like, take money out. Give a fuck about money. And yeah, like she started standing up for herself, and saying no to a bunch of shit. And it was bad, dude. Like even the grandpa who was absent in the real dad's life was calling and was like, you better send him over to like,
Damn.
I'm like, nah.
That shit's crazy, bro. Well, I hate to interrupt you guys, man, but have you started the show yet?
Yeah.
He edits it now when he puts it in.
I
You
edited
do press play, right? Okay.
I edited it at the very beginning because I always forget to fucking start the show. So now I don't even fucking do it.
I was just thinking about it. I was like,
You are the third person in the last 3 podcasts. The last one was Eric, and Eric was like, "Hey, I'm gonna say something, but hey, did you start the show?" I was like,
yeah.
"Yeah, man, I just got tired of it, so fuck it. I just edit in the beginning. Fuck it." Yeah. But yeah, it's something that I guess it's like you said,
Some
right
of
and wrong
our
is out the
principles,
fucking window.
To me, what's fair is fair, and that's all there is
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah, but like to me, like saying the money thing is not. It's just put your time in there.
And that's
Show up to the
you're
game,
very
do the
noble.
thing.
I'm
Yeah, you know
cool
what
with
I mean?
that. You're very
Yeah,
noble.
just-
I respect that.
Oh, don't get me wrong.
I
I don't
respect
like
the
his
heck out
ass.
of that.
I don't like it for shit.
But like I said, I like fairness. Let's be fair. I don't have a problem with fair.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with his real dad. He's always treated me with respect. Even his dad has treated me with nothing but respect. But when we didn't know each other and you know we were young and they were on like hounding her, I was like, get the fuck out of here.
I'm still trying to find my kid's dad. They owe some fucking child support. I need that $83.
Need the 83?
Trying to pay some bills.
God, dude. So
They're both skinny, bro. Like, what the fuck?
like, who the fuck are these kids?
Look at my son. I'm like, ain't no fucking way. No.
You know, it's funny that I grew up a big kid. My sister grew up a big girl. My mom was always a heavier set lady. And it's just funny because now that, you know, we're older, my mom's older. My sister's like 100 pounds now. My mom is real small compared to, because I think she told me yesterday she's like down 100 pounds. I'm like down 30. I'm like, what the fuck? How did our family dynamic just fucking change like a motherfucker?
Age, bro. Age. Everybody's like, fuck, I'm gonna die in like 20 years.
Yeah, I don't want to die.
More fiber.
More fiber.
You better exercise. I'm down 68 pounds now.
Fuck yeah, brother.
Hell
Hell
yeah.
yeah. I saw your update this morning.
Hell yeah, man. I've been fucking grinding, you know.
Yeah, man. Like I said, you have opened my mind to how cardio can be documented and should be ran, and I'm like, man, why did I ever think of that shit?
Yeah, bro. It's
Certain
like,
miles each day and certain fucking.
I did 1 mile on the treadmill and half a mile on the elliptical nonstop.
Yeah.
You know, my fucking thighs and calves and shit hurt like
It's
a
burning.
motherfucker, boy. I'm sitting there like, I get off that bitch, I'm all shaking. And I forgot my keys and phone in the cup holder, right? I got all the way to the turf room. And I'm like, fuck, I gotta walk all the way back. So I'm like, fucking.
You're walking like
I'm
Bambi with
walking
your
like,
legs so
fuck,
fucked up.
And this one guy's like, you good, bro? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm fucking still walking over there like I'm breakdancing this shit.
Well, I guess this is a perfect segue. Have you ever tried any diet fads?
No, they didn't pretty much like shit for the last 45 years.
Like, because I'm asking this question because there are people legit whole life
Tried everything?
have never been on a diet.
I have.
Yeah,
And then
dude.
there's other people that have tried every fucking diet fad, and you're like, what the fuck? Like,
Never. Even when I was super fucking fat, I wasn't fat enough to be on a diet. In
to
my
say
mind.
I'm gonna go on a
Yeah,
diet.
I'm like, 450 is not too bad.
yeah.
451, I'm a fat ass. 450,
Still like average adult.
yeah, I'm all right.
Average human.
So yeah, you
I
like
just
for real, yeah.
never fucking. I guess it's just like no will. Like I just didn't. I was like, fuck, I'm fat.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Just never. You know what I mean? Of course,
yeah.
but I lost all the weight because I had the surgery done.
Yeah.
Of course, I had the surgery done, but I just never. Maybe that would have helped. If I would just stop eating.
I mean, it's not how you eat it. I mean, it's not what you eat, it's how you eat, right? So
Not like this?
Yeah. Like,
No.
fucking instead of two-handing it, just slow down and use one hand.
Oh, okay.
You know?
I was all like this. What the hell?
Yeah.
Whole burritos and shit.
12-bean burritos, Freddy, culero.
I have reduced the amount of it, but like follow diets, like just vegetables, just
Yeah.
or
can't
whatever
do that
fat you're saying, like I don't know, just eating meat or whatever. You know what I mean? I never follow any of them. I can't. I just don't have the time or the will to.
I'm starting to-
I just reduce the amount. That's
Yeah.
like that.
Reduced amount.
As
I'm
you
starting
got
to get
older,
more into that.
did you get more conscious into that, or you were doing that as a young?
Well, when I was young, I didn't have that problem. Once you get married, you know how that is. You start gaining weight a little, but it wasn't that much at the beginning. Once I hit 50, that's when I felt it was like, oh, okay. Now I wish I can lose 50 pounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Once I got to 250, I'm like, yeah, I wish I can go back to the 200. And I have done it a couple of times, but it's not easy at all.
Oh fuck no! Especially when you're older.
Hell yeah. I don't know how that feels yet, but
Growing up, my mom was always doing diets.
Is she?
Always. So, I shouldn't say like diet, like like documenting and what to
she was
eat or
eating and
whatever. But she was always really conscious of what she's eating. She would walk all the fucking time. She'd go to different parks and walk. So
like a low-carb diet.
I would always knew about eating right or eating proper. And when I was a kid, I just give a fuck. Just eat whatever.
People count carbs, and I'm like, I don't know how to. I don't see the carbs. Where are the carbs? I just, you know what I mean? It's just you see 2 pieces of meat or hamburgers, meat or whatever. Okay, but I can count those 2 pieces of it's a double cheeseburger. You get the single one, right? But the carbs, I also people actually weight the stuff they eat.
Food?
Yeah, bro, and it's like they go banana. They're very strict with the diets. There's no way I can do that.
There was that one time I almost did one. The shakes, what was those? Herbal?
Oh, Herbalife.
Right?
Yeah.
And Amanda was working and she was like, hey, this lady's trying to sell this stuff. Come check it out. So I go over there and the lady's telling, she's an older lady. And she was like, yeah.
It's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, it's the greatest stuff ever. I have so much energy. Da-da-da-da-da. And then I was like, okay. And I was a big dude, right? And I was like, okay. She's like, you'll feel so great. You'll start exercising. I was like, all right. She goes, I have some samples in my car. I'll be right back. I'll go get them, right? I started, fuck. Well, of course I don't tell her. I'm like, yeah, and the man, I was looking at the man like, goddamn motherfucker. Got me in this
consultation and
right?
shit.
You got me in this timeshare
So
meeting.
she takes off, right? And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, God damn, she's taking forever. I said, let me get some enchiladas, right? She brings me some enchiladas, and I'm waiting, man, and like 40 minutes go by.
God dang.
And I'm like,
I would have been gone.
I'm eating, right? I'm eating, though. So I'm like, where the fuck happened to this lady, right? And I look out the window, and there's an ambulance out there, right? And I go outside, the lady collapsed.
Oh shit.
Between 2 cars, right? She collapsed, bro.
Herbalife.
Check it out. This is not a joke. I'm not making it up, man. She collapsed. And the ambulance are out there, and they're trying to get her out between. She's an older lady. And they didn't want to pull her and drag her from between the cars. And they're trying to get her out of there, man. And I'm like, oh my God, right?
You still got those samples?
Dude, I was like, fuck Herbalife, bro, because my fat ass collapsed. They're definitely not getting me out of between those cars.
Dude, and it was so expensive.
Dude, super
Like
expensive.
2-pound tubs of protein. Because that's what it was. It's just a protein
Yeah.
shake. 2-pound, and then like whatever the aloe water
Yeah.
or whatever dumbass shit.
$160.
And it was like $200-$300. You're like,
Yep.
I'm like, man, I can buy this at Sam's for $40. What the fuck?
Bro, I saw one that had some sort of pink liquid. I don't know what it was, but it was like a pyramid scheme. You had to be in the pyramid in order to.
Yeah, that's what
That
kinda
was
right?
that was Advocare.
something like
Yeah.
that. It was a pink.
It was a pink-
And I saw it. It's like, nah, this shit doesn't do nothing.
But that saved
bro.
my money, man, because she passed out. I was like, fuck no, I'm not buying that shit. Right? So, life goes on and stuff like that. And then Amanda started going to the gym a lot, right?
Yeah.
She started working out. You know, Amanda's little. And she's like, yeah, I'm buying these shakes again. And I was like, God damn, man, it's fucking $30 a shake. And that's the same.
Yeah.
It's one of those places you go in there and you get like the aloe shot and all this shit, and it's like $30. I was like, fuck that.
Yeah, them shake shops, they're fucking ridiculous.
My boy has a Push in Nutrition. over there off of 50th and Avenue D, and it's a Herbalife shop. But he's got cups like that for like $10.
Yeah, I mean reasonable shit. But there were other folks that you go buy
they'd be swinging.
like Rafa the pink drink. That Herbalife's whatever energy tea or whatever, just that one tea was like $12. You're like, get the
Did
fuck
y'all
out of here.
hear of Spark?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember Spark.
Yeah,
Spark.
that's the one.
Remember some of that Spark?
That shit was
Yeah,
like
that's the one.
fucking
That's that
$80.
pink. That's that pink drink
what
he's
it
talking
was?
about. That's the Advocare one.
They had all kinds of flavors and shit. My sister had got it, and they were like, "Yeah, let's do it." And they took pictures, right? They took pictures from the side with that my brother.
They just documented themselves getting fatter.
Like before and after.
It's like 1 month in, and he's just like,
You know why you lose weight? Because that shit's so expensive. You can't afford food. That's all you can afford is the drink. You're like,
I was like,
starving.
"Oh, I don't know about the difference." You know?
But
Y'all drinking Kool-Aid without sugar.
like here recently, within the last 10 years, like my whole marriage, I've always been on a diet. I've always like done like keto, fucking Mediterranean, and yeah, you lose the weight because it's so you're just restricting your eating is all you're fucking doing, and then you get tired of it for like 2 months,
And you get
then
it all
you
back.
gain like more. You gain it all back plus more, and then you've already fucked yourself up for
people-
the next diet fad.
People think I'm bullshit when I say this, bro. But you know what my diet is, and how I've lost all this weight. Fucking beef jerky, the Slim Jim beef jerkies, and fucking Snickers with almonds.
That can't be wired.
Yeah, that's my snack, bro.
That can't be wired. I mean, you're walking
Snickers
miles
does
and
it.
on cardio, fucker.
Well, I mean, Snickers like holds me over. You know, it makes me.
It
act
has
like,
to be almond though.
it makes me. It makes
At
me
12.
act,
It has to be at 12. Write that down.
it makes me act like me.
You're not you and you're hungry.
In the Slim Jim, I'm just like, oh yeah. You know?
Oh yeah.
All I can think about is
That's a
fucking
bunch of salt. Oh yeah.
Dude, the
I go pressure goes.
that snack.
And that's how you
Tabasco,
lose it. Yeah.
the Tabasco Slim Jim,
Fire.
fire, bro.
Hell yeah.
By far my most favorite.
Well, have you tried the
That's how you
fucking?
losing the weight. That's how I lost weight. Oh, I mean math too, but we don't talk about that.
Tried a little bit for like 4 years.
But
Put a little bit on
Rafa,
my fucking
now
almonds.
to this day, bro. I mean, I did it last night. I measure my food. I weigh my food.
Oh shit.
Because like, so I'm on this low carb shit, right? And so I bought the frozen sweet potato tater tots. You don't know what a serving is. I mean, it's on the bag, right?
Tater tots.
And you fucking fuck off half the bag, and then you're like, God damn, that was 3 servings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I fucking bring the scale out, and it's like 84 grams is a serving, and I fucking weigh it, and then I put it in the air fryer, and that's my carb. That's my counting carbs.
I see one of my friends doing like they have like different size containers.
Yeah, I've seen that one too.
Right, and he's like, you're supposed to eat like your
fist or something
like
like
that. So he
Sizes.
stuffed the motherfucker,
Blending shit.
and this is what I eat today.
Got the whole steak in there.
You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Steak and spaghetti all in one bowl.
All in one big. It's a fist, motherfucker.
Rest it like a motherfucker.
Fucking Andre the Giant fist in there. Like, damn.
Hot as a rock, so compressed. Yeah.
fucking
It's
fist
not
is
too
that?
bite
Did they say 1 or 2?
They didn't say my fist. Not my fist. Bigfoot's fist. and shit.
But y'all get what I'm saying,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean, that's how you fuck off 3 servings of fucking sweet potato tater tots. You're like, fuck.
Dude,
Hell yeah.
we're on the way back over here today because I was running late, right? And I told Big Boy, I said, man, you fucking hungry, dog? And he's like, yeah, I'm fucking starving, bro. I said, nah, you be all right, dog. You be okay, right?
You've eaten the food for the next 4 years.
That's what I told him. I said, dude, you're
Doctor
8
now.
years of fucking food already, dog. You be good to go. He's like, man, fuck you. And I was like, nah, but you be all right. Then I Google, how long can you go without food, right? I said, bitch, 8 to 21 days, dog.
Yeah.
It's been 6 hours. You'll be all right, dog.
fuck you.
But the consequences in your body are different. Also,
Yeah.
you gotta be careful.
But I
You,
just
you
give
know what
him a
just
hard
crossed my
time.
mind? The MRIs, the ones you get in the military.
Oh, MREs?
Remember how you were like good shape when you were in the military?
Dude.
Eat those motherfuckers. Nothing but that, cabrón. Let's see how you feel.
First of all, if you can find some here, let me know. If you go to like the pawn shops where they sell like military stuff, like the one on 19th Street, they're like fucking $20, $15
For MRE?
for one MRE.
No, you can buy it online.
Yeah,
You
but,
can buy them online,
but
but
if you go to a place that has a military base, those motherfuckers steal them, and you can buy a whole box for $30.
Oh shit.
they have these
Yeah.
buckets like survivalists and all those
Yeah.
They have
people
them
who
in
are
there.
thinking about the end of
The
the
doomsday
world.
people.
Did you see
exactly.
that? Did you see the toilet paper they give you in the MREs? It's this big, right? It's about this fucking
You
big.
put a drop of water.
No. What
Oh,
you
that's
do
a
is,
towel.
What you do is you tear the corner off, right? Tear the corner off. You put that to the side. You put your fingers through the middle of that paper, and then you put it up your ass, and you pull all the shit off your ass. Then you get the paper and you pull it off, right? Then you get that corner piece and you
Go
get it
under
right
your
in
nails.
there you
Good
go.
idea. Wow.
Just in case, y'all, in that
You
situation.
just throw it in the
I
sand.
wish I would have done that before I used my socks.
Because you only get that one fucking piece of toilet paper, man.
Goddamn.
And I was like, how does this fucking work? Like, I got more ass
You
than
were
toilet paper here.
probably supposed to put water on it.
Well, you think so?
And so it expanded.
They got my cork. Not working. Just let it dry. It'll flake off. Let it dry. It'll flake
Piss
off.
on it. Just. I ain't wiping my ass with that.
Dude, I remember one time we were in the field in training, and my buddies, you're trying to find somewhere you can sleep on the ground, right?
Of course.
And he's like, oh man, I finally fell asleep. He woke up, there was toilet paper stuck to all his back and his sleeping bag. When you go out there, you dig a hole, you take a shit in the hole. Everybody does, right? Well, they cover it back up. He slept on a shithole. Oh, shit. And I guess it wasn't deep enough, man, and the shit was stuck to his back, bro. Man, I almost shit my
What
pants
happened
laughing.
to you, man? I slipped and fell in some dog shit.
He was like, what the fuck is all this shit on me? I was like, I don't know. We're all looking, we're like, dude, that's toilet paper, dog. He was like, no, fuck. He was like, oh. I was like, bro.
That's fucking caca.
No shower, nothing for the next week, bro. I was like, God, you're going to have to burn them.
I would have got bit by a camel spider.
Dude.
Take me.
Have you seen those?
Hell yeah. They're fucking huge.
Fucking big as fuck,
Hell
man.
yeah. Have you seen them crawling in the tents?
Dude,
And you know what they say? They don't attack humans. They gotta be provoked.
Dude, they'll jump on you, bro.
Fuck
They're on the
yeah.
fucking camels, and camels spit at you.
Yeah.
And the Bedouins be having these motherfuckers, bro. And they don't carry... Bedouins don't carry toilet paper. They're just out there in the fucking desert.
Well, that's why they eat with that one hand, right?
Yeah, that's what they say.
They wipe their ass with the other
Yeah, I
hand.
heard about that.
Yeah.
We met with some, right? And we bought one. They had their camels, but they had a bunch of sheep with them. And we traded for a sheep. And, we had a bunch of country boys, and they skinned the sheep. We cooked it up. And then the dude there, he made this shit with like a milk and had this red shit in it. And they were telling us if we refused the food, it was like disrespectful or something. I was like, well, I'm a disrespectful motherfucker. Because
I don't want that shit.
that motherfucker just cooked that food off of goat shit and diesel was the fire. And then he mixed this red shit with this milk cream. I'm gonna be a disrespectful motherfucker and I'm not eating this shit.
Goat shit and diesel.
That's what it was. They would get all the goat shit together and they would mix it and let it ferment with the diesel and they would catch fire and burn. And that was like their coal. Damn.
There wasn't no wood around?
Dude, this middle desert
nothing?
thing. Like
Oh, shit.
Kuwait, the Kuwait desert is right next to Iraq, right? So it's desert.
Yeah.
And Iraq looks like West Texas, trees and shit like this, but flat. But I was like, and that smoke, the shit was getting all over the meat. I was like, nah, I'm fucking good. They're like, nah, man. The LT was like, nah, that's disrespectful. I don't give a fuck.
I better leave now.
Call me disrespectful. I'm not eating diesel shit, man.
Diesel shit,
They were like, well, you're gonna have to go to the back so they don't see you eat it. I don't give a fuck where I gotta go. I'm not eating that shit. And then
They give you a plate, you're like, nah, I'm
no,
good.
I didn't even go over there. I was like,
Fine.
fuck no, man. I was like, die. Think about it. If I die from some kind of food poisoning over there, I'd be the laughing stock.
Like
They're like, how did
conjunctional
someone that got
infection.
shot, blown up? Nah, he ate diesel shit. You know what I mean? Like,
We found them in the bathroom and fucked up. Yeah.
fucking ass shitted out his asshole somehow.
So,
He had explosive diarrhea.
Well, yeah, and I'm talking about it didn't even burn clean. Like, you know what I mean? Like a good
all
coal.
black.
Like it was just black smoke going all over that meat, bro. And I was like, fuck no. No. Cathcart is the one who gutted it and skinned it, right? And cleaned up the sheep. And he was like, come on, bro, it's gonna be all right. I was like, Fuck no. He's like, I got Tabasco sauce because they come in the MREs about this. I said, bitch, there's not enough Tabasco sauce in fucking Iraq for me to eat that shit, bro. And he was like, you're fucked up. I was like, I don't give a fuck. Y'all can say whatever about
There you
me.
are with your nacho cheese MRE.
Dude. Fuck no.
What was your favorite MRE?
Mine?
Yeah.
I like the burger one. I did the burger one.
It had the veggies?
No, it
No.
was just the meat and two fucking flat ass, thick ass breads.
It didn't even have cheese?
Nothing.
No cheese?
It wasn't even real meat.
Yeah.
But it was new, and so, well, you met Cathcart, right? So, we were on Bradley's. So Cathcart's the gunner for the LT, right? The highest ranking person in our platoon. He's the gunner, and so he's in charge of the track. And he was an E5 at the time, but the gunner is the main. That's the motherfucker gunning everybody down. We're in the back. We get off and we fight. So he was in charge of who got what MREs and shit like that. But
Yeah.
me and him are boys, right? We're super tight. So he would get up there, get the driver to divide the MREs, right? So he would get me and him our favorite MREs, and he would put them to the side, and then everybody else had to eat shit, right?
Whatever was left.
And I'm talking about when I
Spaghetti.
say everybody else, that's the LT, the highest ranking dude in the team.
Yeah.
Everybody just got shit. He was the fucking dude, and everybody be like, and I was a private at the time. I'm like, how the fuck did you get? And then I had my own space on the track.
What the
Yeah,
fuck?
man. And when I got there, we had an E6 that was in charge of the squad, and he had put his shit somewhere in the track, and Cathcart came down and threw that shit outside the fucking track. Said, you don't put shit in my track. And then he was like, but fucking Rodriguez has this shit right now. He's like, yeah, because it's my track. And I was just like, hey, man, I'm going to get my shit out because I ain't trying to. Cathcart was like, no, fuck him. You leave your shit here. I was like, nope. I'll put it back later. But right now.
I don't want a shitty back.
Yeah. Because my sergeant could fuck me up.
Yeah.
And Cathcart can't protect me from that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm not dumb. I'm
No,
like,
this can have consequences.
yeah, it has consequences. So I'm like, of course I put my shit back on the down low, my little spot. But at that moment, I was like, no, I'll get my
Isn't
shit
that
off.
crazy? Like, the Army and military, Marines and shit, it's supposed to be the most protective people, that we have. And you'll get treated like shit by your own people.
But and it's funny because you'll have, like, Cathcart is young. Well, back then we were young. We're the same age. But he was an E5 at that time. And he had, like, he can make somebody way older than him do whatever he needed them to do. And there's no you can't question them. You know
That's
what I mean?
fucking crazy,
The only
bro.
time you can question if it's an unlawful order, like if they tell you, oh, shoot all these people, of course I'm supposed to question that. But if they tell you, get all your fucking shit off and put it over here, you can't be like, why? Just fucking do it.
Oh, dude.
Okay. They take off all your shit. You know what I mean? Or if they went into your room and they go in your room, you stayed on post in your barracks and they'd be like, I want you to get all your shit and put it in the parking lot just like this. And you just go up there and bring all your shit
There's
down
a-
and just,
That's like hazing, kind
just
of.
fuck with you. You know what I mean? Now, the new Army, what I've understood is way different. Like, they have stress cards. Like, so if you're feeling stressed, you could give your NCO a card and be like, I need a 20-minute timeout, shit
Pull
like
out a
that.
fucking yellow card.
Bro, I've been in line after the weekend and everybody's fucked up, and you still got to come stressed in there, and they're checking for if you're clean shaved, you have your dog tags, your ID card on you. And I remember just standing there right at attention, and first sergeant's walking through it, right? First sergeant is the dude above the whole company, right? Highest ranking dude in the company. So he's walking through the line, checking everybody, and then next thing I know, I just see a fucking foot fly. And he kicked the dude right beside me in the chest.
God damn.
Bro, he dropped it. You can't even like look and be like, God damn. I'm just like, holy fuck. I was like, I'm about to get kicked.
Not next.
And he just looks at me like right in my fucking face, and he checks me. He just like looks at me and just walks past me and goes through. And I'm like, holy
What
fuck.
happened if you kissed him?
Huh? Bro, I don't know. It was the don't ask, don't tell time when I was there. But yeah, like
I have
they
too
could
much of
physically
humor. I'd be like,
fuck you up back then. You know what I mean? Like when I was in boot camp, drill sergeants would be like, "Oh, you think you're badass?" and handle up, bro. And I'd be
shit.
like, but them dudes, those drill sergeants, when I was there, because I was infantry, so infantry is way different than regular army, right? So it's nothing but males. You're training for combat, so it's more of a machismo. Who's the baddest dude is gonna run shit,
Oh,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So the drill sergeants and those things. I'm not saying that the other drill sergeants with the regular jobs and stuff aren't tough, but I just felt like these dudes had to be the baddest of the bads because there was a bunch of fucking alpha males.
Yeah.
All these dudes in the infantry think they're the baddest motherfuckers. So you got to have somebody who's badder than them. And these dudes, man, would like tell you, like, oh, you think you're bad? And they would take off their shit and be like, come on, let's get it. And there's some motherfuckers that test them and get fucked up.
So was like y'all's expectations like Full Metal Jacket? Since
That's what I thought it
that
would be
movie
like.
was,
I thought it was, and it was most likely that there was no, like, it was like, if you fucked up, we all got punished. And it was always like that, you know what I mean? So if you're fucking up, then of course we hated you, you know? And I remember one dude, like, tried to kill himself. And so he got you had to buff the floors and shit like that. And then you do it by hand, put it on, take it off, then you buffed it. Well, he got the cord from the thing and wrapped it around his neck. And we stayed on the second floor. He jumped out the window, bro. But that fucking cord was like 100 feet, man.
Oh, shit. He didn't fucking do his research.
Yeah, he hit the bottom, right? fucked up his leg and shit right there. For the next fucking week, we had classes on how to kill yourself properly.
What?
How to kill yourself properly, bro.
That is psychological mind fuck right there, bro. Right?
And then we had every night you had fire watch. So somebody got up every hour. So it was a different person every hour got up and made sure everybody was okay, right? And it was just fire watch to train you for out in battle, right? Then you had fire watch, and then you had suicide watch now. So somebody had to wake up and watch you sleep because you tried to kill yourself. And so every time somebody would wake up, they would kick his fucking shit, make him wake up, and then they would watch him for an hour.
If I'm not sleeping, you're not sleeping,
Not even
motherfucker.
sleeping either, man. And but every day they would have for a whole week, bro, was a fucking how to kill yourself properly.
You just alerted a memory. I heard somebody back in the day. I was working in a call center, and he was an old man, and he was telling me that someone in the army or whatever, maybe he was in the army, tried to kill themselves in boot camp, and that they had told them the next fucking day, they got them all together, and they're like, all right, you don't slit your wrist this way. You go this way if you ever wanted to do it. Like, do it this way. That's the proper way. And I was like, what the
Dude,
fuck?
like all before all, like I got right there at the very end before a lot of politically correct stuff started coming out, right? So like that shit was like fucking hard because you still had a lot of your drill sergeants were Vietnam vets and shit like that. They didn't fuck around, you know what I mean? They weren't playing no pussy shit. If you were soft, get the fuck out. And it was just crazy. Like the whole class, I was like, are we really taking classes how to kill ourselves? You know
Now,
what I mean?
if you want to be faster, you got to go this way.
Dude, when you're married.
For real. You
Am I right?
Then they
Am I
would,
right?
Yeah, and they would read your letters, right? You get mail, and they'd fucking open it up and be like, "Oh, okay, here you go," and I'm like, "Okay," like, all right.
You're
like,
all
what-
talking shit to your wife about him, and then he's reading the letter
he'd
that
read
she's
it, bro.
writing
He'd open
back.
up and read it and fucking give it to you right in front of you, but you. Now that I look back, I think it was
Isn't
like
that a federal? You're not supposed to open people's mail. What
But-
the fuck?
but-
Isn't that in the Constitution somewhere?
bro. It was.
First Amendment.
And I
Come
was,
on now.
I was a bigger dude, right? When I joined the service, I was a bigger guy. And I don't go through the child, so you do it step side through the thing, right? And when I would turn, they would be talking shit to me the whole time, like, you fat fucking bastard. You don't need to eat that fucking food, right? And I'm just like, and I would turn and they would slap it out of my hand sometimes, right? And they would fall and they'd be like, oh, not only are you fat, you're fucking clumsy. And I'm like,
Damn.
oh, that's how I'm picking it up, man.
You know why they do that shit,
Yeah,
though?
just to fuck with you, man. Mental. You got to be mentally tough.
Be mentally strong. That way nothing fucking bothers you when you're in the field.
So, and then it's like, so when one row sits, the other row has to get up, right? So it's going fast. So you're hurrying them, picking in, they're talking shit, and you get in there, and you try to eat fucking fast, man. And then you get
You
back
picked up your food off the floor and had to eat that?
You don't have to eat it.
But
You don't
I'm
have to
saying
eat
that
shit.
was your lunch.
That's your fucking
like,
food. Yeah, that's your fucking food,
Like,
man.
it wasn't like, give me another one. This one fell.
Hell no.
They'll
And
kick
then
my
they
ass.
have dude, and they have desserts, right? Nobody touches the fucking desserts. Nobody touches the fucking desserts, man. Because they say, it's just,
You're soft if you
yeah,
get a
you're
dessert.
soft. Like, you think you're the best? You think you deserve that? Then you're like, oh fuck no, I don't. You know what I mean?
Goddamn right, I'm a Marine.
And then at the very fucking end, right? So you go through all this stuff, and you got to do like a kind of like a crucible thing. So you do this long ass road march and do all this fucking shit, right? And the whole time, and I was a big dude, and I was short. So I always had to run at front of the thing because my legs are shorter, right? So if the tall guys are in the front, they're gonna leave me behind, and they would just talk shit to me. And I'd be like, man, I'm just gonna run to that tree. And once I get to that tree, fuck them. I'm gonna quit. And I get to that tree. That's the only way I can make it. I get to that tree and I'll be like, okay, the next fucking tree, then I'm gonna cuss them out and talk shit, and it would just push me to continue on, push on, and then I was like, fuck them, they're not gonna beat me, even though inside I was crying, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So after that whole fucking thing, man, you get to this big giant bonfire, right? And you walk through and you get your canteen, and they have this blue, it's like Gatorade, but they tell you it's infantry blood, right? It's the blood of the infantry. So you dip it and shit like that, and they had that fire, and the colonel comes up, and he gives this speech about how now you're one of them and all this shit. And they get your cross rifles, and they take off the back, and they put it on you, and your drill sergeant comes and shakes your hand, and he fucking
punches
it,
you.
right? So you bleed and get the more. But so now that I heard they don't allow you to do that anymore on the punch and stuff. But it was, you think about like all that bullshit with them and stuff like that, and then you at the end you become part of something. You know what I mean? But I always tell people I don't miss nothing in the Army. None of the bullshit, but the friends I had made in there, I still talk to them today.
Yeah.
That shit like that. I could not talk to them for fucking 5-6 years, and I'll call them up, and they'd be like back to the normal old bullshit. It's like again when we got back together, it was just straight.
I mean, you went through some traumatic shit together,
Yeah.
man. Like that bond is solidified like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And they know me, man. Like I just got a dog, and he's like, "Is the dog still alive?" I'm like, yeah, the dog's still alive. He's like,
It's like I asked you last week, like, hey, how's that dog doing?
everybody knows me. They're like, that dog ain't
Does
gonna
that dog still bark?
He still got that because my homeboy Cathcart, when he was staying before he went to the Philippines his last time, he was at our house, and the fucking dog, we got the dog, right? Because I saved it from the dog pound. We were doing a job, and I brought it home. Malachi fell in love with this fucking dog, man. And they were telling him, hey, yeah, someone got a dog. And they're like, Rod didn't get a dog. He goes, I didn't go out there for like 2 days to look at your dog because I was like, that dog ain't gonna fucking make it. Like, we're gonna wake up, y'all gonna wake up, and the dog's gonna be gone. And so he already went to the Philippines. He'll call me and he'd be like, hey, you still got that dog? Have you broke the news to him that it's not gonna live? And I was like, no, man, this dog's gonna make it, bro. He's like,
Nah, it ain't.
I know you, bro. I fucking know you. That dog's not gonna make it. Magically, it dies or it fucking disappears. I'm like,
I see some of those videos, bro, like where the family gets in touch with somebody that they were in the same platoon and shit, and they're older men now. They're like 60, 70 years old, and they finally see each other, and they're just like the happiest people, bro. You know, it gets emotional because it's like, damn, like they were that close, and for so long they were apart.
You went through shit together.
Yeah, bro, literally.
crazy shit, bro. Especially veterans that have been in combat, like actual combat. There's a bond, like, I don't know how to explain it, man. It's just
A protection thing.
Yeah,
huh?
you will never ever. You know, you got friends that'll say, "Man, I'll fight. I'll kill for you. I'll fight for you." I'll do it. And a lot of them mean it, but when you actually know this motherfucker has been through the worst and seen you at the worst, seen you cry, seen you, because you know everybody goes through relationship issues. I've been with homeboys that we come back and we had to move him out of his house, and the other dude's there in his fucking couch sitting down watching TV, and we're moving his shit out, and we just got back from 18 months. You know what I mean? And
Already moved on. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or she got pregnant while he was gone and coming back, and now he has to make a decision, does he want to still be with her? It's just crazy shit. So the most intimate, most darkest secrets you know of each other, the most downest parts in your life, you've been there where he found out his grandma died 3 months ago and he just found out now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he just got the letter, and you're just like, you talk to each other about your fears and shit like that, and then you give each other letters, because a lot of us do that. You know, if something happens to me, man, give this to my old lady or give this to my kids. So
Yeah.
you carry that with you, and you're like, damn, man.
He trusted me to give this to
them,
somebody
man.
he
Or
loves,
tell-
Damn
you
it.
know?
Or tell my
Damn it.
story. You know what I mean?
real.
Like I always tell people, when I die, nobody better get up there and say I was a super nice person. You better like, all right.
I don't even know why you crying. He didn't even like your ass.
Don't you still owe him $50?
Yeah, seen this shit.
But I want them to be honest, because that was me. You know what I mean? Like, I was an asshole. I was a good person. I was all these fucking things. I wasn't no fucking saint, for sure. You know what I mean? That way, my friend Joe, who passed away, he has a son. And I told him, man, anytime you actually want to know your real dad, come by. I'm going to tell you all the bad shit we did together and all the good shit, what made him a real good friend of mine. And I'll never forget him. But I'll tell you, your dad, we did this and we did that and we did these fucking things that nobody else could tell him, because, Joe's mom was going to tell him all the good shit.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody's gonna make him look like the
Yeah,
greatest. And I'm
yeah.
gonna take, man, you know, your dad did some shitty shit. You know what I mean? He was kind of shady on the shady shit. I'm gonna tell you what he did.
I remember this one time.
I really like this girl and he fucked her. I'm just gonna say that right now.
I thought she was the best thing.
Yeah. But you, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So they
for
can
real.
really know who he is. Like we talked about it last. Like you don't know who your dad is or your grandpa is until you ask them, because they were somebody before they were your parents, and Joe was somebody before he was his dad. You know what I mean? So who were they really? I want people to be, who was I really? You know what I mean?
Yeah, every opportunity I get to share my past, previous experiences, I'll share it with my boy.
Yeah.
Because I don't want him to grow up like I did. When my dad passed, I knew nothing about him, like, other than being my dad.
Yeah.
And I don't want him to be at all like
Yeah,
that. I
and
want
like-
him to know everything about me.
And like having a podcasting and on here, that's awesome, man. Because he can look back and like, oh man, these stories that my dad was telling, like on your podcast, on your stuff. You know what I mean? You can look back and be like, God damn, it's fucking. That was all right. It was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like you were saying before, the strong bond that you create with your friends is one thing, but you were in the trenches, that's a different level. When your life depends on your body right next to you, again, let's take it to a big extreme. To me, I never joined the military, never been in war, but when I used to be a rock climber, my partners, they basically, my life depended
Yeah.
on them. They actually have the
Yeah.
line life on their hands. So if they fuck up, I'm dead.
Yeah.
And vice versa. When it was their turn, I was making sure they were right. And that creates a big bond when you have to put your life in someone, else's hands. Literally.
Yeah.
Yes.
Damn.
That's the truth.
Fuck,
Damn.
man, we'll end on that note. Thank you guys for fucking coming. Rafa, this was fun, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you
my
for
friend.
coming back. Drewskii,
Hell
thank you,
yeah.
man.
Thank you for having us.
Before we leave, y'all have any final thoughts? Rafa's going to close out the show with a set, but you got any final thoughts?
Shit, man. Not really.
Your last two episodes,
It's
you
been-
murdered them
yeah.
final thoughts, bro.
It's been a day, you know what I'm saying? You know, I really would like to reach out to the younger crowd and, you know, tell them that it's not cool to be the hardest nigga in the room. You know what I mean? Like, I really feel like this younger generation has no guidance, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if there was somebody out there that needed some guidance, man, to get that help, because everybody, all these young cats got guns, bro.
Yeah.
You know, my cousin just got killed last night, and over nothing.
Over literally
Literally
nothing.
nothing.
Yeah.
You know, he told a lesbian that she was pretty, and her brother got mad. You know, like,
That's crazy, man.
you know what I'm saying? Like, this generation needs help, man. This younger generation needs help. And I just, like,
Life is nothing to these kids.
Yeah.
nothing, bro.
Like,
Real, man.
nothing.
They think it's a video game, bro, because all the shit that they see on the internet and the games they play, you know what I mean? Like,
But it's like that Charleston White guy said, they are literally rapping about murdering people.
yeah, they let the music get to their head, bro. Like, I said that on a Lubbock County mugshots. You know, like, I was like, I said it's called. They call themselves YNs, which stands for young niggas. And I said, all you YNs, y'all letting this music get to your head, but y'all really hurting families. Like, you're taking somebody's son, father, cousin, brother. You
Yeah.
know,
You threw your life away.
you know what I'm saying? And you just threw your fucking life away just because you were mad for. This is it right here. 30 seconds of your emotions can determine the rest of your life. That's what it is.
It's true.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just want people to think about that.
Rafa, you got a final thought?
I'm very related to what you're saying. Because I remember when I was young, it was the same thing. Life didn't have much value at all. I was saying, I can die tomorrow, not a problem. I was ready. On my mind.
Yeah.
In my own stupid little head. When you're that young, you there's no way you can value life. You have no idea what it is.
Yeah.
Still, you have no idea how much are you losing. There's times also when you're desperate, when you're going through a lot of things, that you think that your life is better be over than continue with it. And you forget that the next day the sun is gonna come out. The next day is a new day that you can try something else, that you can try something different, that you can make a difference in your life and someone else's life.
For sure.
Unfortunately, like you said, these young guys nowadays, they have no clue. They don't know about the consequences. They never seen a dead body, what they do to their family. Yeah. You never know about the consequences. What's going to happen to you after you kill somebody?
Your family,
mentally,
they gotta go
with your family. You're going to end up in jail for the rest of your life. I mean, it just fucks you up.
Yeah.
And your parents still got to be people of society.
But nobody's teaching you kids this. Even when you go to church, and I'm sorry, I super apologize to everybody out there. Do you have a religion? They're not telling you the real. They come out with these stories about the Bible. They're not telling you the real deal. They fill your brain with words and words and words and words and words that don't mean shit to you. You gotta talk real to these kids nowadays. Listen, this is the consequences. Everything has a price. Be aware of that.
The church, what you're saying, the church, the pastors wash down the Bible, so they don't they don't offend anybody.
They talk about all kinds of stuff that is not related to this what these kids are going through nowadays. It's got to be someone like this guy that is just he's not that much different from the generation that is coming up nowadays. You see what I'm saying? Yep. Tell them about your cousin. Tell them about your homeboys. They're not here anymore. Tell them about the motherfuckers that are in jail for the rest of their lives. Tell them about their mamas, their
Just
aunts,
last night,
their children. Everybody's suffering.
17-year-old kid arrested, unlicensed carry of a weapon. 18-year-old kid, unlicensed carry of a weapon. Like, if you're gonna carry a weapon, don't carry drugs. You know what I mean? Like, that's what they get. That's what they get.
But that's cool.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing to do now. And that's fucked up, man, because
they don't know the difference about misdemeanor, felony, and how many years in jail, federal crime, a state crime. They have no fucking idea.
But
how come nobody teaches them that?
But when you got arrested, you were embarrassed. And not only were you embarrassed, your parents were embarrassed for you. And that was enough for me to like, I don't want to fuck up I don't want to be an embarrassment to my family. There's no more embarrassment.
Well, now you
it's
see
an accomplishment to be in a mugshot.
Oh yeah, I got this.
That's their profile picture and shit with the fucking Edgar.
Yeah, for sure. Edgar. Like, but like I said, like recently, not too long ago, I caught a case, and I was in the Lubbock mugshot, and that's the most embarrassing thing for me. I was on there, federal indictments, all kinds of shit, man. Damn. Deep, looking at real time, right? And I don't take that as like, wow, look at me, I'm fucking cool. I'm like, God, I embarrassed my friends. I apologize to them. I was like, man, I'm embarrassed. If I heard the podcast, I heard it because I don't think that's cool. I didn't think it was cool. But that embarrassed my family, my friends, my kids. You know what I mean? Because that's something that I'm a reflection of them. You know, and this is what I'm doing. This is what they accuse me of, and I'm on there, and everybody sees it, right? Everybody fucking sees it, so everybody's calling, and I'm just like, fuck. I mean, I embarrassed and thank God. I wish they were here, but I'm glad they're not here to see that. My grandparents, my grandma, my grandpa, it would have broke their fucking heart to see me on there.
But also, when you think about it, environment is the least.
Yeah.
It's the least thing you have to worry about. How about the 10, 25 years you're going to get?
That's what I'm saying. And they don't think, they think it's a joke, man. Like, I'll do this and I'll go to jail and then I'll get, no, motherfucker. You get a federal indictment and you go fed, there's no money to get you out. No. There's no money. You have to get a lawyer and petition to get a bond. And the judge has to decide, and the prosecutor, if they're gonna if you're not in endangerment, to let you go. So you can have millions of dollars, you're not getting fucking out unless they say it's okay for you to get out.
If they don't think you're what do you call it, civilized person.
And if you catch a conspiracy case with that, you definitely ain't fucking coming out. You ain't getting no bond.
If you ever get a chance to go to a federal court, go visit as a visitor. Just check it out. Just check it out. You see, you go into the courtroom. You can feel it in the air, bro. How many lives have been fucked for the rest of the time? If you can feel it, and there's this emptiness, there's no one there. You sit down and
you can feel it in the air, bro. You know what I mean? Imagine if you don't have nothing to get a lawyer, you get a court appointment, you're fucked.
I'm just trying to chase a little 2 bands.
You know what I mean?
No,
a little 2,000.
I mean, if you ain't got the money, you're fucked.
You're fucked, bro. Fighting
but that was your lawyer's fault.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
He's a piece of shit.
Fucking Chuck Lanhart. Have you ever heard of trash, bro?
Trash.
So I had fired that mother after I paid him $25. Fired his ass. Got a dude from Dallas. brought him down here. John Helms. Bad
You might
motherfucker.
want to bleep that because lawyers are very.
Nah, fuck it.
No, bro.
Fuck him.
If he loses money somehow because of the podcast,
No,
bro,
I'm gonna tell you-
he's come back to you.
That's-
I'm just saying,
no,
please.
that's a personal opinion. That's my opinion because my with him is not out of nothing. He's a piece of shit. I can say that's my personal opinion because I paid him.
Okay.
Paid him.
You paid enough money to say
I
that.
can say 25 grand. I can say whatever the fuck I want about that pussy.
Okay.
Paid for my opinion.
Yeah, but like I said, man, and so while I sat there, I saw dudes in there with no hope. They were badass out here, and you went in there. Now you ain't got money for commissary. You ain't got fucking lawyer. Now you're looking at big fucking time. And now where was all the glamour, the shit you were talking over somebody stepping on your shoes?
It's real life
It's
out there,
real
man.
fucking life, man.
Somebody bump into your shoulder.
Somebody bump into you. You know what I mean? And
Man.
it's as we get older, we realize that shit, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
"Ah, it ain't worth that shit. It ain't worth that shit. When you're young, you don't think like that. But once you're sitting there, you're shit out of luck.
Hell yeah.
It's too late.
Too fucking
It's too
late.
fucking late.
And I
That's what
see
I'm
these
saying.
young dudes in there, and I'm like, man, fucking dude, like, why did you do that? I don't get it. You know what I mean? They're like, well, that motherfucker was disrespecting. I'm like, dude,
Nigga,
like,
you live and love it.
yeah.
And at our age, we can say, okay, fucked and fucked for the rest of my life, but at least I had a life. These motherfuckers say
Nothing.
18, 20,
Yeah.
Ain't even
and that's
experienced.
it.
Life away,
That's it.
man.
Yeah.
Ain't even paid real bills and shit.
Nothing, man.
And they finna
And
go be
I
somebody's
have a
bitch.
cousin that's actually spent more time in prison than he's been out in real life.
Same, bro.
Once you're in the system, also you're fucked. You know
Oh
that.
yeah,
you
bro.
know all about
Once
that.
you get fucking caught in it, because it's a
Yeah.
trap. 1 foot in the door at all times, man. You
But
got
And
to
all
buy
you are
laws.
is a fucking an incentive for the prison every
It's
time.
like, I don't know. It's weird because he's out scot free. Like, you're done. You're out. And then he fucks up big time and then he's back. And I'm like, do you know no other way of life? Like, you can't wait to go back, or
Just don't give a
I
fuck.
mean, you just don't give a fuck.
Yep, because it's like you get used to that. You get institutionalized.
Yeah,
You
that's
get
the
used
word
to
that I
it.
was thinking.
Yeah,
Institutionalized. That's one thing.
Like my uncle, he was in prison for 30-something years, 33 years. You know, his first conviction or whatever was back in 1988, and he shot somebody at Kmart when they used to be on University and the North Side or whatever, and was it over there?
No, over here off of 60 something.
Yeah,
Oh,
the YM.
The YMCA, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the six. This is the one, that one. It was the only Kmart I guess they had.
Yeah.
And he shot somebody over there because of some beef or something. But the charge that he got was trying to rape that girl that he was with, because that girl started attacking him and he fucked her up and shit. She said that he tried to rape her
Oh shit.
inside the store, but shot that dude because that dude pulled out a gun on my uncle. They were gangbangers and shit back in the day, you know. And
Yeah.
That's just how it went. He put out a little 38.
Damn.
And then the charge was for rape. So he got 8 years for that. But then he went, when he got to the penitentiary, he was doing something and some black dude went up behind him and put him in a chokehold and tried to fuck him. And he ended up fighting him off and ended up cutting him with a toothbrush or some shit. Cut him up on the face. That was another
Got
charge.
more time for that.
So then he became part of a gang. You know, back in the day it was different, you know, in prison.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you just getting fucked and fucked
Yeah,
and
yeah.
fucked, and you're in the system.
ended up being in there 33 years and 10 months.
And also during those years, 10, 20 or more, all those rules that you learned to survive in jail
Don't apply
before
here.
they don't, and you come out and you try to use it because that's all
Yes,
you
you
know.
know.
That is being put in your brain
Yep.
every fucking day for those 10, 20 years, and you want to use that, and that's just not gonna fly over here. So you go back to that shit.
Bro, I remember
because
going
you
to eat
fucked
with
up.
him at first.
That's true, man.
You know how at the cafeteria line? He grabs his tray, puts his fork a certain way, his cup a certain way, and he's just sidestepping like. And I'm over here turned one hand, fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. But it's
I
what they
want
know.
this and that. And he's like, they're like, what do you want? He was like, I don't care. Like,
He had no
whatever.
idea how to order.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like, he was just like, yeah, that, I guess. He
That's
had a
crazy.
fucking plates, bro. He's like, I can have all that. And my mom and stepdad was like, yeah.
That's nuts,
know?
man.
Yeah.
CD players and shit. It was fucking 2010 or something like that. He's walking around with a Walkman.
Yeah, in his pocket.
No, but seriously,
Earphones like
we
this.
should have a podcast with a couple of lawyers and stuff like that to try
Someone
to.
knows one.
Yeah. Piece of shit.
Not that one. That's a piece of shit. We don't want that one. No, but seriously, it should be good education for the young guns out there and trying to help them out and they
Yeah,
can make
man.
better decisions because hopefully we're able to save someone by talking about the consequences in real life.
If I could just save one person,
Dude, for real.
you know what I'm saying? I'd be content with life, bro.
Yeah, I got a buddy. I grew up with him. He's a lawyer. He lives in somewhere in the Austin area. I'd be lying to you if I told you where. But yeah, he was a big dude.
Make sure it's a criminal lawyer, not one of those injury.
Yeah, no, he's not an injury lawyer.
Well,
But he was a real big name growing up because he was a boxer, and then he went to Notre Dame and then got his law degree. Shout out Little Ed Hernandez, but he's a lawyer. I probably could talk to him, see if we can get him on the show.
bro, lawyers know some shit on the cool. Like, we're good lawyers, not
Yeah.
the piece of
Oh,
shit
yeah.
ones. But,
No,
you
that
know,
John Helms dude, he represented the mayor of Dallas, got him off on charges and shit like that. So we went big this time. I was like, fuck this. I gotta get somebody, but
they know some shit, bro. They'll pull
yeah.
some. I used to drive Tech City bus, right? The Tech buses, and I drop these guys off at the law school all the time, and I'm just like, you know, I just bring up some random shit. Hey, bro, what do you think about this? Well, you know, like this and that can happen. Woo, woo, woo. And I'm just like, God damn, that shit goes deep, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, I think that's why SanJuan's conviction for that fucking lawyer is what it is because
I learned a lot,
he
yeah.
knows that he knows shit and he just doesn't apply it.
You created
correct.
equity.
Yeah, and so when you do that, man, regardless, people are gonna hate on you. People are gonna still say that you're still the old person.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason you have things. You
Yeah,
know what
exactly,
I mean?
bro.
And it
Fuck
gets in their
yeah.
ear and they try to make something that's not true. And then you got motherfuckers who catch cases, use that and to work off their case, try to set you up on bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just dirty game. These
Some
young
whole shit.
Yeah, these young kids need to understand this. Just get out, man.
Yeah.
Go to school, build something. Build something,
Yeah.
get it out of the mud with your hands. Because throwing your life away in there, man, everybody's gonna forget you. That girl you think loves you, she ain't gonna love you for 20, 30 fucking
For
years.
real, bro.
Yeah, staying out of trouble is hard,
really
but
is.
being in trouble is even harder.
Harder, man.
Like, yeah, man, fuck. All right, guys, we fucking went deep, and
Fuck yeah.
dude, thank y'all for coming.
Appreciate you having me.
We're gonna
bro.
end the fucking show. Rafa's gonna close out the show with a set, and so we'll come right back. All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. I want to introduce you to Rafa.
Thank you. Well, again, more than a stand-up comedian, more like a storyteller. Let's see if we can do this here tonight. This story is called At a Funeral. This happened a while ago here in Lubbock, Texas. One of my friends, one of the best comedians in Lubbock, Texas, his name was Jared. We were at a comedy show, and after a comedy show, we decided to start drinking. Jared was a very honest and very simple kind of guy. He liked the little things and not the not so little things, you know what I'm saying? And that particular night, we started drinking tequila a lot, and big mistake. After a few shots, Jared yelled, "I love Mexico!" I didn't know where he was going with that. To tell you the truth, after a few more shots, he yelled, "I love Mexicans!" And I thought it was the tequila talking or the other green stuff that we were smoking. But after a few more shots, he looked me directly into the eye, and then he said, "I love you, Rafa." Right there and then, I knew what he wanted, and I said, "Stop it. Oh, my God, no. Jared, stop it. You're going to convince me." I'm like a Mexican cactus. I got thorns and spikes. You're going to get hurt. And he said his favorite words, I don't give a fuck. Let's do this. And it was a beautiful night. We look at the stars. We holler at the moon. Literally, ow! We did things to each other that no one has ever done to us before. What I'm trying to tell you is that Jared and I, we were lovers. And we were not lovers for a long time. It was only the one time. Well, it was actually 2 times, but it was the same night, so it only counts as once, right? And that's because he insisted to look into my eyes while we were doing it. So we had to change positions, and then well, that doesn't matter. That's not even important. What is important and what really matters and what you really need to know is that I was pregnant. Sadly, I lost the baby. That was my first time being a mom, and after 2 weeks, I couldn't hold it anymore. I had to go to the bathroom. And I know it was Jero's baby because he was a redhead, and my shit came out brown with a little bit of white, a little bit of red. And I was going to do this at his funeral, but I chickened out because there was a priest there and a lot of his friends and a lot of his family. But I know that Jero and I, we had the same sick sense of humor. And I know he would have loved seeing everybody's reactions and faces and shit, right? But nah, Jero was straight as an arrow, and I just wrote this bit for him. He was one of my best friends, and he really had a sick sense of humor just like me. Anyway, this is for you, Jero, whatever you are. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Oh, man. And they say romance is dead. Rafa just made a love story about his friend. That never happened. Until next time, guys, read some books.